all your petition. I even recorded our conversation with him because this time I'm not even scared. People are like, run away from Nigeria and do this, do that. Me, I'm not ready to run. You understand? If it costs my life for them to shut me off, it's fine. I don't care. You understand? But I'm going to speak out and let people know what's going on in the country. So when this
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through the auspices of Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi, Jonathan Chinedu from Olo province of Biafra London. We are here live and direct. Today is the 23rd day of November 2024. Please, I urge our people that are media in order to meet their microphones as you're here, you're listening to Radio Biafra House of Service. Please mute your mic as you are listening. Therefore, we are here live and direct. As I said, today is the 23rd day of November 2024. Tabo Obochi Orie. Therefore, we are live and direct. This is where it all started. This is our rallying point. Remember that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started on this hallowed platform as our gathering point. Therefore, I welcome each and every one of you to welcome your friends and well-wishers onto this hallowed platform. As I said, today is the 23rd day of November 2024, being Saturday, a day that is dedicated to discussions concerning our mental and physical problems. Therefore, we shall never shy away from preaching this gospel. Yeah, invite your friends and well-wishers. As you may have known, our IPOB community radio is up and running. It is a very low data consuming application. Our IPOB community radio is up and running. Therefore, you can download our IPOB community radio. Also, as a backup, you can also download Simple Radio. Simple Radio. Inside Simple Radio now, you scroll for Radio Biafra London and you'll be hearing our voice. Moreover, you can also download Radio Garden. Radio Garden. The same thing, once you download Radio Garden, you make sure to scroll to Radio Biafra London and you'll be hearing us live and direct. Therefore, as I said, we are here live and direct. Please, if you don't want to listen through the medium, through the WhatsApp, which I have activated, please, you can log off or you mute your mic because many people, but we are Biafrans, we are live and direct. Therefore, we must continue in this hallowed platform. Remember that this is where we worship. This hallowed platform is or was initiated by our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is still in the enemy dungeon. But make no mistake about it, he must be released. He must. It's a must. Capital M-U-S-T. He must be released. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did nothing wrong. We are on self-determination. It is on the international charter. International law. It is legitimate what we are doing. Forget what Nigerian government have activated They try to fight us, but we always win. They activated their agents in order to make sure to criminalize what we are doing. But there is no place for criminality. Criminality should never be used as part of freedom fighting outfit. As I'm saying, there is no room for criminality in what we are doing. Say no to criminality in Biafra land. What we are doing is sanctioned by the law. It is recognized by both national and international law. Therefore, we must continue in what we are doing. There is no room for criminality. Criminality should never be used as part of freedom fighting outfit. As you may know, governments or countries could use criminals to perform some dirty jobs because they can manage them through funds and maybe eliminations and other government institutions. But freedom fighting can't afford to use criminals because they have limitations on management or on managing these criminals. That is the reality. That is the reality. There is no room for criminality in Biafra. I mean, in this fight, in this self-determination. Forget about the people that are we watch them. They come, they do gana, they go. Different impostors they come. Nigeria raise different distractors. I don't think I will continue with this. I don't think. It is very, very chaotic. As I said, we must continue. I try to activate one group, WhatsApp group, in order for the people to be hearing me, but many of our people don't understand. We are still suffering from indiscipline. When you enter into such a group, you mute your mic and listen. If you don't want to listen, you off and go. That is how it's supposed to be. But making noise, living because of your background, some are in the market, some are they are early in the morning, some are in the night, some are maybe in the nightclub, and you on your phone. Making noise is very, very sad. But we must continue. As I said, do not forget that we are here live and direct. Today is the 23rd day of November 2024. Taatabo Obochi Orie. Therefore, I welcome each and every one of you. As I was saying, say no to criminality. You say no to criminality. Criminality doesn't pay. You know, I have preached this several times here. How a country, somebody like Bashir Assad of Syria, he used tactics in order to make sure that he remains in power. I am telling you, during the start of Arab Spring, when it entered Syria in 2011, let me reiterate on this for people to understand. Syrian president Assad, who is still in power. You know, he's a sworn enemy of America, of the West, mostly America, United States, mostly. And they want him gone they want to do regime change, but at all costs. But he played a fast game on them. He knew that the Arab Spring will come. It will come over to Syria. What did he do? When the wind of the Arab Spring was blowing in Syria, little by little, you know what he did? He made sure that they had the prison breaks in every part of Syria. And you know, in Syrian prisons, All those terrorists, hardcore terrorists, Islam, all those Salafis, Islamists, hardcore suicide bombers, they are, the Syrian jails is filled up with them. So what did the Assad did? What did he do? He made sure that he allowed the prison break, so that every prison that contains these people were broken, and they were Allah Akbar, they all ran away, left. He knew what he was doing. When the people of Syria were genuinely clamoring, protesting aimlessly, innocently for a change in government, it is genuine. What they are doing is legitimate. And there is no way, if Assad, the president, started shooting them, civilians, it will rise up international community. America will take the fight, the lead. Oh, he's killing civilians. And they will make sure, in order to help this, to bring him down. He studied what happened in Libya. I mean, he's a wise person. He's a wise fellow. I'm telling you. Now, he made sure that there were prison breaks everywhere in Syria. Why people were, clamoring, protesting, normal with placards. Now, he infiltrated them with the secret service, and they went to break jails. He allowed them. Oh, everybody come out. Whereas they had the core Islamic suicide bombers filled the jails. He want to release them so that for them to hijack the genuine protest of the people, so that he will now start cracking down on them. Oh, you think your intelligence is good? Honestly, very, very good. For some people might not understand what that time. They might be blaming the brain. What are you doing? Kill the place, kill the whole prisoners. They will say, leave them, let them go. Because he know that he is going to use them without them knowing that he's using them. It will fall back to them, and he will remain in power. What happened? These terrorists came out from jail, and now we are at the forefront of the protests, the new protests of people that we are clamoring, the population that we are clamoring for changing of governments. They have the right. But these people now, they came now and hijack and started, oh, no, we carry gun, water is the code, this and that. Because that is exactly what President al-Assad wants. And these people started carrying gun, bringing gun through their borders, Iraq and Turkey, everywhere. They activated their cells everywhere in the Middle East. They started rushing in, bringing guns, everything. Okay, President al-Assad said, okay, it's good. Now he started showcasing to the world that no more. These people started shooting and killing Syrian military officials, military and police. And he started videoing and showcasing to the world that, look, these are terrorists. So they started answering their name, Al-Nusra Brigade, Al this and that brigade, Al-Qaeda affiliated, now they hijacked the genuine protest. I will call it self-determination of the people. These hardcore terrorists hijacked it and started telling the people, no, let us fight. It's a fighting that is what is the code. And they managed to convince people to join them. That gave rise to ISIS. They told them, we are all in the same, it's our enemy is Allah, let us kill him. And they unleashed mayhem, even against the people that does not believe in their own modus operandi. And the Syrian government was laughing, showcasing to the world that these people are terrorists. So they are not only a threat to me as a president. They are not only a threat to us. Look at how they are killing Syrians, innocent civilians. They are not fighting for government change. They want to take over everywhere and declare caliphate. They are showing it to America. The whole world is watching it. They were helpless because they can no longer stop it. President Al-Assad had played the first one on them. They try to distinguish between, say, America tried that time in order to say, no, these are just, and these people, the terrorists we are killing, water, beheading people, imposing their law on the people. Just like as they impose it at home. If you don't come market, they will kill you. They'll come at the market and they send the so-called unknown government to come and start killing people in our own land. That I am drawing inference for our people to open eyes. This is intelligent job by the Nigerian government. It's exactly what Syria did. I mean, Syria government did, and he remained in power. Before you know, because you know that these people, they are terrorists. There is no way you can control them. America at first, so it was during Obama time. Obama was supporting them, thinking that he can use them to kill, to destroy Al-Assad. But they have their own agenda. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Their own agenda is to declare caliphate. That was why Obama allowed ISIS. You know, they declared ISIS in Iraq and Syria. That is the meaning. Iraq and Syria, ISIS, Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, ISIS. Do you see that? And America could no longer wait. The whole world was crying the way they are beheading people, killing civilian people that civilians in putting the law, the so-called law of Allah on them. The world said, no, this is no more a revolution we can continue watching. The pressure mounted on Obama and the world went into action. They were forced to fight alongside their arch enemy, Al-Assad, in order to remove the ISIS. Do you see? And those voices, the genuine voices that were there for self-determination, they were gone. They took all of them at the same, said, now all of you are at the same. Do you see how he defeated them? Oh, Auche Kaeno, Auche. That is what Nigerian government is doing. He has been doing, not trying to do it, has been doing it. He will use somebody, raise influence. When they do some meeting, fundraising, the money will be flowing. Who are giving that money? The money come from where? These great gifts. Do you remember $100,000 by Oyibo to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in America? It's one of the causes of Abiana Radio Biafra to Yahoo hardcore. That is why we are at alert. Things cannot happen to us twice. Only once. Things cannot happen to us twice. You cannot use money to buy influence in IPOB. It is impossible. Because we have seen what happened, the catastrophe it costs. The catastrophe. 100,000. Oh, love Biafra. Oh, if not you rule, yeah. Hey, you don't know that he was sponsored to do that. He was sponsored. That trap. Bam. We learn from what happened to another person. Things cannot happen to us twice. We are Biafrans. We are indigenous people of Biafra. Are you hearing me? That's why we don't give any loophole for criminality. You can never be killing the people you say you want to save. It's impossible, and it's not done anywhere. The people you say you are fighting for their freedom, now you are imposing different kinds of calamities and the genocide against them, and you think that they can support you? Don't you know it is intelligent job? It is intelligent job, and we are watching. IPOB, we are non-violent organization and a movement that is bent on the genuine restoration of Biafra. Are you hearing what I'm saying? We are non-violent. We are calling only for for referendum. It is a political process whereby each and every one of us will declare. If we have the referendum and majority say no, we want to Nigeria, so be it. We'll continue. We respect the decision, the will of the people. That is what we are asking for. So any person that comes and tell you water, oh, we'll kill them. And they are not going even after our enemies. Rather, they are snatching cars of Biafrans, selling, kidnapping, snatching cars of Biafrans, selling snatched cars to people, including Emmanuel Kanu. You know, we know that now. Where are they today? Well, I think they have very. Oh, you see this struggle. This struggle opened my eyes on what we are suffering. This is the struggle. I'm telling you. Where are Kano family? Where are their press release and this and that? Kano now Kano family castigating Jofo and Aweru died Ozekome. Where are they? Imagine, let me ask Biafrans. Imagine that it was, for example, a Jofo that the Nigerian government that time they accuse him of tax evasion and money laundering and this and that, as they did at Jimako. Imagine the hell that would have broken loose from Kano family. What we say here, I don't hide my mouth now, because it pains me a lot that what we cherish with our whole heart, that you see some people, they are doing it for their interest, which means I was in Mbada, I was Mugu. They don't understand. I was in Mbada. These people are evil. You see, Kano family. You see, Kano Takano. I mean, Kano sibling. Sorry, not family. Kano sibling. Kano Takano. Kano mem. They don't talk. For how long they have taken over? All these things you don't see them talk. Imagine that now this case was still in the hands of. Remember when it was in the hands of Ozekome? Yeah, he have collected money because of a merited award. These people, which they conferred on him by Nigerian government. He has compromised. As if Ozekome is an IPOB member. They are not IPOB members, but they love what we are doing. It goes the same. They are working in Nigeria. That is it. But look at how they insulted them into the insult they receive. Look at the insult they receive. When I hear some people say, make tell DLS, now go beg them. I sometimes I'm saying, are you even talking for talking sake? Or do you think they're not human beings? If it's you, what will you do? The type of insult these people and threat, not only insult, threatening. I will kill you. I will do this. I will do that to you. And they are making good their menace. And they are out. You want them, you can go and beg them. They'll come back. It's impossible. It's completely impossible. They have mesmerized the case. The only thing we are watching, because they want to say face that they brought him out. Even if let him compromise and talk anything, but Onyendu knows that he cannot compromise now. IPOB. We are all over the world. Indigenous people of Biafra all over the world. Man, we are compromised on this struggle. No, it's not possible now. We are not foolish. We are not fools. Our brains are working. We watch, we monitor, we analyze. We have think tanks in IPOB for your information. Forget people that comes and make noise on social media. Mazi Chinedu put it on his timeline one time. He said, if social media noise is how to get Biafra, all of us will be making who make noise more than us. But it's not how Biafra restoration will come. It's not fought in on the social media. It is strategic. Do you see the story I told? Do you hear the story I told you about a Syrian president? Very strategic. Now he was his enemies, arch enemy, were forced to fight on his behalf to kill his enemies. And he stayed there. Come, oh yeah, uche. Ya na-afịọ gị mekọchi enwekwa onye ga-ama ihe mere gị mekọchi ọ bụrụ ndị ga-apụta a na-emeke noise. Hey, Biafra will be declared on the 2nd of December. Oh, 150 days. And all of a sudden he declared that he was doing content creation. This agent, he studied the gullibility of our people. I say one day I will make gullibility a topic. He have studied the gullibility of our people, Biafrans, mostly Igbo Biafrans, that they are highly gullible. They want to see something shine, number one. They want something they will be seeing, so that they will believe in him and they will invest money. That's why he come out sometimes and dance, decorate his house, his room with shiny things. Now, ndị mmadụ na-ahụ ya, ndị Igbo na-ahụ ya, because ihe ndị Igbo na-achọ ndị Igbo otu esi ejide ha were shine something. Come and do wow. Hey, Igbo people have some immediately. Second, na onye awụkwa, just package yourself. He understood this. And that is why he mesmerized with the brains of our people. We have been here shouting on top of our voices that this is not freedom fighting. And lo and behold, people donated and we are following him. Well, we must continue. The only thing that concerns us is because he's using IPOB name. That is the only thing. But as long as he's doing his own thing, we form his own group. Any person that can form his own group, don't mention IPOB. Don't mention disciple of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or you are this of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, from there to prime minister to this and that. That is where you get problem with us. But as long as you are doing your own thing, you have your own group, it doesn't concern IPOB, we have no problem with you. We will not even talk about you. That is the thing. But when you continue increasing criminality in our land, that is where, because it's affecting all of us, that is where we say, no, it's not like that. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I think we understand it. That is why I say criminality should never be used as part of freedom fighting outreach. It is impossible. Established government or nation can use criminals to do their job, to do their dirty job. As they always use this pig in the creek, Asare Dokubo. They use him. Nigerian government use him in order to do their job. They use him to bring people that form a bubagon and be killing people. These are criminals. We know. Government can use him because they can control him. They can one day call him and pay him off and tell him calculate how much. He says $100 million, $200 million. Government have the capacity pay him and say, okay, stop what you are doing. We no longer want your service. If he continue now, government have the capacity to use military in order to deal with the criminal. That is the capacity of the government. But a freedom fighting outreach, we are trying to remove ourselves, free ourselves from our enemies. Now you want to bring criminality or criminals, activate criminals. You can never control them as a freedom fighter. Because I cannot, you cannot criminals, they have ulterior motives. Once you give them gun, now they are not disciplined. What they do is just like mercenaries, even worse than mercenaries. When they gather them, at the first time. They gave them money in order to lie to them against a DOS. And many of them, when Igbo man hear money, now the DOS nebu ego millions of dollars. Now a cruise now about jeep Ishi buha. They lied to them, and many of them fell. They say, okay, you see, you are fighting. Are you? Are they? They are just starving you. They don't give you nothing. Do they give you anything? He said, no. He said, okay, but I will be giving you. They send the and they send the $1,000 and they send the $2,000. Hey, I no take all day. After 1 month, the second month, they reduce hands, send them something. The third month, they call them. They say, oh boy, money no deal. You cannot use. By that time, they have deviated them. They know they are no more in IPOB. They know that many of them nothing again. So what do they say? They tell them, use what you have. Don't you have gun in your hands? Use it to get to what you want. That is the unleashed criminality against our own people, hijacking cars, killing our people, kidnapping our people, and taking ransoms. And you call it freedom fighting? No. No, sir, no, man. This is not freedom fighting. It is purely criminality that is harming us, not even harming anything our enemies, not at all. That is why we must make sure that this thing doesn't happen. Now, there is this clip I played. I want to replay it again. Remember, today is I'm going to talk on the topic of my submission today is in pursuit of the right knowledge. In pursuit of the right knowledge. But before that, let me replay what I played before. Let me play it. This is a testimony of an Igbo man that feels that he has contact in Abuja, in Lagos, in Nigeria. He was attacked by Fulani in Abuja. And he's lucky to still remain alive because he was shot several times on the leg, shattered. He survived it. And now he said he knows many of them. Most of those people that attacked him, he said they ought to fight him. He knows many of them. He's looking for justice in Nigeria as an Igbo man. I want you to listen. Please. Listen. Listen attentively. Igbo man does not care about the environment. He does not care what is happening in the environment. As long as maybe on a region to it doesn't care. It could be asking now, you people say, Nigeria, we are going to Nigeria is my Niger. I want you to listen. Listen, it's a 4 minutes video. Listen.
It's attacked by Fulani guys. So they pretend to be workers in the estates to get information. You understand? So unfortunately, they came to my house to attack me. I was shot several times. That my bone was shattered. There's this picture from my incident. So I followed the case up and all. Police was just gambling with it. I even went after one of the guys after they discharged me from hospital. This was when they discharged me from hospital. So I went for the guys.
He showed the people his panel, I don't know, of Nigerians. He shattered the bones about the video of his shattered bones. He's healed. He's lucky to be alive. There are things I want the same thing. Igbo man, the same problem. I didn't know that this thing happened here, but it happened to me now. That's why. I played the other time when one content creator was detained in a tiger base in Owerri. He started shouting. I never knew that this kind of a thing happens in Nigeria. As we are shouting on Radio Biafra, they don't care. When it happened, Nigeria happens to them. Now, that time, if they are alive, they are lucky to be alive. That time, they will be talking. Many are not lucky to be alive. That is the sorry state of an average Igbo Biafran. Very sad.
Arrested the guy and then hand them over to police. It's just one of them. This guy shoots me, girl. But yeah, what? Yeah, now you won't kill me, ba? Let's go now. Yeah, so I reported the case to. I used to feel like I have connection.
You say, I used to feel like I had the connections in Nigeria. Ịma na onye Igbo nwa ya nweta ha nwa ihe a nwa contact Alhaji maybe ọ na-emewe nwa ọfụma na Abuja na-emewe importation or na-eme one business or the other or being a so-called socialite, anything. Now when I contact, you feel that if you are telling him about what is we have problem in Nigeria. Second, which kind of problem? That he has contacts, he is doing well. Look at my 3 decades in Abuja. I have my investment in Lagos. What are you telling me? Which kind Biafra? Will Biafra contain us? Or he will be telling you some things that are absurd. Until when Nigeria, not big Nigeria, small Nigeria happened to him. That time, if he is alive, now he will start, if he have brain, because some of them don't even have brain. If he have little brain, he will come back and start reasoning like this one. Please continue listening.
Hand them over to police. It's just one of them. This guy shoots me, girl. But yeah, what? Yeah, now you won't kill me, ba? Let's go now. Yeah, so I reported the case.
In showing them the photo, I mean the video of when he arrested some of all those guys he knew. After being healed, he came back and started looking for those people and saw some of them and arrested them. He videoed himself with them, showing, oh, now you want to kill me, but as he's talking it, showing this thing, showing the video to the people he's reporting to, many are laughing. That is Nigeria for you. You see, people, somebody will be dying, people are laughing, clapping hands. that is one thing with Nigeria or Nigerian mentality. No person is sober, they are laughing. So this guy now, for you to understand him, you feel he have contact. But listen, they attacked him. They came to his house and attacked him, shot him on the leg. He was lucky not to be shot on the heart, on the chest, or in the head, but on the leg, left to bleed. And later he was taken to the hospital. Do you remember when they used to say gunmen invade a place in Abuja, a locality in Abuja, and abduct and kill people? And this, do you remember? He is a victim. Listen.
I used to feel like I have connection until Nigerian happens to me.
I used to be like I have connection until Nigeria happens to me. That is what the man said. In case you are not hearing it clearly, I used to feel that I have connection, but I was wrong until Nigeria happens to me. Continue listening.
You understand? I reported the case. Yeah, so
I want you to hear it. I want to repeat that place.
I reported the case to. I used to feel like I have connection until Nigerian happens to me. You understand? I reported the case, followed it up, even with lawyers. You understand? Nothing happened. They later released the guy.
He arrested some of the boys he knew. I reported the case, arrested them and put them in police. They later released them. They later released them. The Fulani.
What they told, I went to the is this CRU unit in headquarters here to go and report and tell them that this is how they handled my case. And they were like, since I'm an Igbo guy, I can't get justice in Nigeria.
He went, when he arrested those people and they later released him, he went to another, whether CRU crime something unit in Abuja, in order to report that, look, I have this is people that try to kill me. And I know them, and after I arrested them, and this police unit there left them, released them. So he reported the case, with his contact to the higher place. Listen, the policemen themselves in Abuja, they told him, oh boy, You are an Igbo man, no, you can never get justice here in Nigeria. Being as Igbo man. Leave it for God.
He shared his personal story. So I was hearing when this guy was saying that religion, this, that. The guy told me, the officer told me that I can never get justice. That because that yeah, don't I see videos of online that if they catch these Fulani guys, they always cover their faces.
Are you hearing what he's saying? I want you to hear what he's saying. You know, I have said it here several times. When they catch, when there is too much pressure, they catch Fulani kidnappers or terrorists. The way they showcase them, they don't show their faces to the media. They back them. Do you remember last time I talked about it? Some Fulani they caught in, I think, in Imo. Those that are killing, they specialize in killing and raping our students in universities in Imo, in a way. The way they show them on photo is their back they show. And do you remember I analyzed it like this? They're exactly the same thing. Why they are showing the back so that you don't see their face, because tomorrow they are going to release them. But if it is non-Fulani Igbos, they will bring journalists to interview them, open their faces. That is Nigeria for you. So this guy, the police people he went to report to, told him that, oh, you're an Igbo man. Forget it. You can never get justice. Forget. Somebody that thought he had connection in Nigeria, an Igbo man. Do you see that? Do you see that what we are doing, we are right in what we are doing, self-determination to move out from that Nigeria? Do you see that? Do you see how can we continue staying in a place whereby we are regarded as third, fourth class citizens, as slaves? You cannot get justice. How painful. And you want us to continue? When we are telling you, support what we are doing in any way you can, even if not you are not an IPOB member, support us, because all of us are in the same offing. All of us are in this. As long as you are an Igbo man, you are doing business, so they will never allow your business to grow to some certain level. As an Igbo man, they will continue fighting you. That is why when you pass out as an Igbo man with your big business, your children cannot cope up. When they enter inside and saw the nonsense, the fighting from the Nigerian government, they could destroy the business and sell it out and do other things that are easier for them. Smaller things. Do you see how they are killing us? One time I was talking with somebody. He was a governorship candidate sometime of one state in Biafra land. He was telling me the businesses he has. The Nigerian government, they frustrated him to the so that he doesn't make any gain. You must abandon your business and run. As long as you are doing it in our land, you must abandon it, or it remains in a state of stupor, moribund, or you run away. So the frustration is too much. Everybody is suffering this. Every woman, bring your container. They will make sure that they purposely put it on demurrage. And we are enduring this. For how long? For how long? Let us fight and release ourselves. You see, people are now. Why is it Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Why not me? Why is it Chike Dosiem? I don't know how to do it. It's me. They will use. Igbo man will allow himself to be used because of his egocentrism and egoism. Ego. To be used to destroy what we are doing. Do you see that it is pathetic? And do you see? This our brother. When you look at him, you see that for him, he has contacts. He's well-to-do. He's confessing it. He said, police in Abuja, they call him and say, oh boy, you are going a journey in futility. You're an Igbo man, right? You can never get justice. Tell me a country you call your country and you are being given this news in a case whereby people want to kill you and you arrest those people after surviving. You arrest those people and you carry them to AK. They tell you, okay, you're welcome. And they following, they release them. Now you go to other higher police units to report that look, they tell you, hey, they laugh. Say, hey, sorry, Igbo man. Say in Nigeria you cannot get justice. What does it mean? You're a slave. You're a slave. That's why when I see what Peter Obi is doing, I look at him, whether he is ignorant or mischievous, I don't know. I don't know. Honestly speaking, I don't know. Imagine that we put hands together. The whole Biafrans put hands together, or 80% of Biafrans continue supporting what we are doing, funding what we are doing secretly. Before God and man, before a long time, we are out of Nigeria. But they will not, because they will start now. Who will lead? Who will lead? Onye ọwụna Chukwu na-aba anyị nche ọnụ na onye liwere mbe na anwụ liwere onwe. Onye jiri m n'ala biliten ka m. All of us are suffering. You get contact. Look at this man now. Look at. Let me continue, please. Continue.
That's true. Yeah. So, I was hearing this guy was saying that religion, this, that. The guy told me, the officer told me that I can never get justice. That because don't I see videos of online that if they catch these Fulani guys, they always cover their faces. But other guys, other criminals, they catch them, they put their face on the media and all that they are the one that own Nigeria. That they are not the one ruling, but they are the one controlling Nigeria. That's what they told me. I should leave it for God. I said
they are not the one ruling, but they are controlling Nigeria. So Tinubu is a figurehead. The police advise him, or leave it for God. Do you see where we see come back to religion? Oh, Chineke. Do you see when you go to your churches, they will tell you leave everything for this high cost of living. No, not God. Now leave it for God. We just pray. God, do you know that it is they want you to continue being slaves? That is what it means. Police tell him, no, you as an Igbo man, you cannot get justice. Just leave it for God. So there is nothing more. You leave it for God. How can you leave it for God? You will have to join the people that are fighting to remove ourselves from this mess. That is it. That is what shows that you're a human being. But they always pass. Do you see where always I come down on religion? I bring my hammer. Do you see how Russia hammered with their new ballistic missile? Just one small example. On our felt everywhere. Hammer. You saw the video, how the thing was hammering, falling from like a hammer, sledgehammer. That is why I always come hard on religion. Because they pacify you. They make you, they hope on you, hope to you. Always, you continue hoping until you die. Your children they will continue selling hope to your children, and they know that it's not like that. They cannot walk until you start doing something practical. No, leave it for God. No, let's pray. Early in the morning, you rise up, you kneel down, you pray. You pray for 30 minutes, 1 hour. You suffer yourself. Anyways, somebody say, no, when you are doing all the exercise you are doing, nothing. Making vocal sound. What does it change? From 1970 to today, as we didn't do something practical, we have been praying. What does it change in Igbo land, for goodness sake? I'm asking. Tell you, as a trader, you have your shop. From time to time, either once a year, you take stock to know whether you are progressing or retrogression, or you're going backwards. That is taking stock. So, from 1970 to today, we have been praying. We have been calling God. We have been calling Jesus. We have been living it for God. Are we progressing as a people? Tell me, please. Tell me. We are not. The policemen, they say, leave it for God. That's what they told this man. Leave it for God, though. The same thing, they bombard you, they feed you in churches. Tomorrow is church. You go. Your problem is not in this world, this is spiritual. How can you continue accepting this nonsensicality? Mugility. How? That your problem is spiritual. There is no problem here that is spiritual. It is physical. And it is human being that can fix it. I don't want to preempt. Let me finish this so that I go to the topic of my submission, please. Continue listening.
You know, even if you take my life.
So who said this now? Is it the Nigerian police?
Yes, the Nigerian police.
Okay.
The CRU department. If you feel like you have
from the first PRO.
yes, if you feel like you have connection, we can go and you will end up laughing Nigerian. I swear. You understand?
Go on, please.
So and again, these issues of insecurity. You know, when something happens to you, that's when you pay attention to your environment. You understand? I got to find that
Do you hear what this mogulity? Do you hear what this mogulity said? That is a problem of an average Igbo man. That it is when something happens to you, that is when you start paying attention to your environment. Hey, Chinekele. Are you hearing me? Do you see the gullibility in action? Do you see what we call this man mogulity? An average Igbo man doesn't care. As long as on as long as on a man everything is okay. Him, only me, only me. Without understanding that there is nothing like me unless there is we. Who is he complaining to now? His people. To help him, human being. But oh God, now let us join hands together in order to fight what is fighting us. Because it doesn't matter that it never occurred to you, but it's happening to everybody. It might come to you tomorrow. He said, let me repeat it. It's a problem of Igbo man. As long as he never get this type of problem, he doesn't pay attention to his environment.
like you have connection, we can go and you will end up laughing Nigerian. I swear. You understand?
Go on, please.
So and again, these issues of insecurity. You know, when something happens to you, that's when you pay attention to your environment.
When something happens to you, that's when you pay attention to your environment. Which type of useless mentality is that? When something happens to you, you might not leave. You will learn from what happens to your brother, what happens to others. But Igbo man said, no, when something, that thing, nah, nothing mega. Agi did it. Nah, nothing mega. They were planning an intelligence report. You are coming to him. Nah, you are the head of state. Take precaution as an Igbo man. Nah, nothing mega. Nah, jim ma. Haruna as the chief head. Nah, are you hearing? They say you people want to kill me. Do you see the foolishness of Igbo man? He was asking the chief planner of all those coup. Haruna, go on. He said, come on. They say you people want to kill me. He used it to do, he used the Madiebo to do yeye. He embarrassed Madiebo. It's Igbo man for you. He never stopped. That is why I call our people. We are primitive. You want that thing. That when you die, is that time you will start, start reacting. When you die, you will not even know that you are dead. You will not know. But his people will bury you, put you 6 feet. But why many Igbo people are foolish? This man said, is when something happened to him, that time he start paying attention to his environment. As he's talking it, many people are watching it, they say, boy, nah, this man, now I have contact. Alaji. He will call Alaji and say, did they say that the Igbo man don't have justice here in Nigeria? No, you come back me the other day for the problem I have. No, they say Igbo man say, he laugh, kwa. Alaji will tell him, who tell you that? We are my brother now. Which after cutting phone, he will laugh. Yalaji will say these people are useless. We will deal with them. They are primitive. Do you know what is primitivity? I've explained it several times. It's not about you being a fine boy, a beautiful girl. No, a handsome boy, a beautiful girl. A paishi, he may not shine, in where motor, where mansion. No, 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 no. Monkey can live in Kuwait. You see monkeys and all these exotic animals. They build mansions for them. They go on private jets. It doesn't make them to change to another thing. They still remain orangutan, chimpanzees. They are. Primitivity is when you don't learn from others what happens to others. You take precaution. That is primitivity. When you are not organizable, when you cannot organize yourself into focusing, having one focus as a community, as a people, as a race, that is primitivity. Civilized character is when you are not fighting for yourself. You are focusing on the community focus, community goal. Let us fight together, because anything that happens to any of us, it affects me, it affects you, it as a community, as a race, as a people. That is civilization, civilized character. Are you hearing me? Igbo man, average Igbo man don't have it until IPOB come into the arena, and still up to today, you see many people don't have this character. They are still primitive. You can see them driving G-Wagon, Range Rover Sports of 2026. It doesn't make them civilized, for goodness sake. Here we hit it as it is. We don't garnish words here. If you don't want to listen, you F off and off your phone and off your listening device. You want to die in stupidity and gullibility. We are sick and tired of it. This is what the man say.
You understand? I got to find that a lot of people are being affected with this insecurity. Even close to my estate last month, they killed this man, took his wife, demanded ransom of 1 million naira from the family. 1 million naira. You kill someone who just finished building his house. You understand? After congratulations, next thing RIP. And Nigerian police is not even taking it serious. Okay, I think yesterday I told you yesterday I went again to meet a very high profile officer. We're still on the case. The next thing he said I should write petition. You understand? But I've written all your petition. I even recorded our conversation with him.
As an Igbo man, you use you do ye. Don't I indeed before. Do you know that before I thought that Igbo people are my we are knowledgeable. Before God and man, this struggle opened my eyes, and I come to understand that in that Nigeria, in that zoo, the Igbo people, the Igbo race, Biafrans are the most gullible and stupid people. We have talent, yes. It has nothing to do with talent. It has nothing to do with knowledge of making money. Are you hearing me? You know, how can you are in a place where you are being marginalized extremely, being slaughtered? You are, they use you do ye as a race. Anytime somebody will come out on television, on national television, and insult Igbos, and it doesn't touch you. You see people that are championing for this thing to stop, for us to liberate ourselves. You don't support them. Are you a human being? You are the most stupid and gullible human being ever to exist. That is it. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you know that some other people that are not even Biafrans, they love what we are doing? That is why if they see an Igbo man that is against what we are doing openly, and that person happens to enter in the kind of problem, before God and man, they will deal with that person with a rage. Don't you see Udele? Where is him? Maybe before long he will die. Who knows? Everybody will die. We are not happy, but they are dealing with him. The people he served. When you leave your people, start fighting against your people to the advantage of your enemy. Those are our enemies will take you as an enemy also. They will take you as double enemy. One, you a saboteur. You sabotage your brothers, you can sabotage them. So if they see any slightest chance to hit you, they will hit you bad so that you cannot rise up. Because they know that you are a bad person. That is the most dangerous part of it. That is why when you see all these Igbo people that are now the more it doesn't this and that. What we are doing, it doesn't concern him. Is working on a time bomb. I'm telling you. That is what this guy, he is lucky to be saying to be alive. He said he never take cognizance of what is happening in his environment. Which means if you hear about what we are teaching on, we are talking on Radio Biafra. He says maybe these are people that always promise that these are propaganda. Me, I did Abuja now. Alhaji no be my friend. I go a birthday party to Kemi, a Yoruba guy. So how come they used to do the caricature? Let me tell you the advantage of what we are doing as is drawing, as is taking long. It's not even long. How long now? 10, 12 years. When IPOB started, Radio Biafra started. It's not long. South Sudan fought war, direct war for 39 years. So it's not even long. So, but what I'm saying, the more it takes a long time, the more the atrocities of Nigeria anti-Igbo conspiracy comes glaringly, watching everybody. It becomes more conspicuous, and it convinces other, these other primitive Igbos, Biafrans to know that look, there is no other way than what IPOB is doing. That is my joy. You understand? That is my joy. If all these things are not happening, if this thing is not taking a bit long, you not understand. If you even put the grant, for example, referendum, they will say Nigeria, they live in Abuja, say I live in Eko, I live in Ikoyi Island, so I vote for Nigeria. But all these things now, the destruction of our properties everywhere, when election comes, they will say, Igbo, go your home, go, get away, go to your land. That place you are living, you talk that you're a landlord, it's no more your land. They burn our markets, they burn our systematic. All these things are accumulating to open the eyes of those that wants to perish, that wanted to perish. Their eyes are now opening little by little. Say, oh boy, what Nnamdi Kanu was saying was true too. What IPOB, what these people are praying is not propaganda, it's true too. Do you see the advantage? It will continue. Catastrophe. Imagine this marginalization of Ndibo will continue being conspicuous until Ndine Nekwete. Those doubting Thomases, they will now be seeing it happening to them. That time they will say, oh boy, what IPOB is saying is correct. What they are doing, I need to support them. Do you see the advantage?
Because this time I'm not even scared. People are like run away from Nigeria and do this, that, this, that. Me, I'm not ready to run. You understand? If it costs my life for them to shut me up, it's fine. I don't care, you understand? But I'm going to speak out and let people know what's going on in the country.
So when this happened, were you home when they came to attack you?
Yes, I was home.
Okay, how many were they?
Okay, the people that came into the house,
Yes.
they were more than 30.
Yeah. Okay.
They were more than 30. People that came into the house, they were fully armed.
Sorry. What time did this happen?
Around 7:30
In the evening.
evening.
So do you live
Even before they even shot me, police was around. Police was demanding that they have to pay them 5,000 naira for each bullet they waste. Each bullet they waste. Like, does it make sense? You understand? I have to even face my fear.
Police police was charging him 5,000 naira for each bullet they release. When we call Nigeria a zoo, we are insulting animal kingdom, honestly. It's a jungle, primitive jungle. I will be calling Nigeria primitive jungle. That primitive jungle. So, as an Igbo man, what are you up to? Do you even care? Do you care for what we are saying, what we are doing, IPOB is doing? Does it concern you? No. You are doing well in Katangura. But that well you are doing, one day, immediately your head will go down. One day your livelihood, your ways will be on fire. Anything can happen to you because you are an Igbo man. You can never get justice. It happened to this man. The foolishness of Igbo man is too much.
They didn't even believe that I'll fight with them. I think I took one guy up, used him to land from the upstairs. So he used his back to. I don't know if that one died, but they rushed him. So what they did, they had to like shoot me because they don't want to keep trace. Because I know them, I know their.
So where were you shot?
I was shot on.
Okay. You had it. That is Onyibo. The other day, one cried in Owerri, coming from Iguacha. He never knew that this kind of thing happens. When they took him for and collected how much from his account and put him in tiger pits. If not for the contact he has, they would have killed him. They would have harvested his organ. That is how bad it is. As we are talking, this one is shouting. Many other Igbo people, they don't care. They are doing their business. They don't care. Buying and selling. Mercantile mentality. They don't care. Now, if you talk about, now let us organize. But now, I think we are coming to the end of the year. It's a Igbo meeting. Many are concentrated on it. Now, I get a meeting. Now, I get a year regalia. Uwem ga-akwa. Ụmụnwawo eze ndị Igbo na Texas. I am eze ndị Igbo na Vietnam. I am shit that adds no value to us as a people. Oh, very primitive race. But IPOB, once you are in IPOB or a student of Radio Biafra, you are delivered from primitivity. I am telling you. Let me just read just one or two news headlines. One or two news headlines. One or two news headlines. Let me read one or two news headlines. Okay. Thank you very much, my brother, for your information. Awesome information. But we must continue. As we may know since Friday yesterday, armed headsmen resume attacks on Enugu State community, kill 3 farmers, injure others. Armed headsmen. The problem is they are killing our people and destroying our farms, our farm products. Have you taken your time to ask yourself, all this, let me say, a bubago? Have you ever had a bubago go after Fulani headsmen that are killing our people inside farm? No. Let us come to reason now. Let us cool down and reason. This is a bubago that the Omahi and the other Igbo governors formed. Have you ever heard that they are after the Fulani headsmen in our bush, causing mayhem, the terrorists? No. Do you ever hear of that? No. Always they are killing our youths. If they see you, as a Igbo youth, they can arrest you and harvest your organ or shoot you. If they come, they are anti-people, anti-Igbo people. They are formed by Igbo people. That is one thing sometimes I reason it, I cannot understand it. Igbo people, these Igbo politicians, they are anti-people. They form this Ebubago just to kill our people. They don't go after Fulani headsmen in a harmful. No. Okay, let me ask you. All these criminals that are enforcing sit at home, Monday sit at home. Have you ever had they say, okay, they go after Fulani headsmen? No, tell me now. Tell me. They come and rant on social media sometimes. Have you ever had or see them say, okay, today we have captured some Fulani headsmen. We have cleared some Fulani headsmen in one community inside the bush. Does it happen? Why I'm telling you this, slowly, so that for us to understand the type of people we are dealing with, the type of mentality we are dealing with in our own. Now, that was November 22nd. That was yesterday. And the headsmen resume attacks on Enugu State community, killed 3 farmers, injured others. A resume attack is not that they resume attack. It's a resumption. There, school, when school closed, school will still open. When they go on vacation, they will still resume, which means it is what they have been doing. So they resume in Enugu community. Do you see the reason why ESN was formed? This is the reason. Because Nigerian government doesn't, we are not protected under Nigerian police. You hear the Igbo guy said it. He said the police high-ranking official. He said, no, you cannot get justice as an Igbo man. In Nigeria, you have no justice. You cannot, don't worry yourself, leave it for God. This is why church is progressing in our land. Because they are leaving everything for God. They are crying to God to come. They are crying to God to come. And it cannot happen. We must join hands together. Oh, cry me blood. It doesn't happen. It's not happening. It's not done. Until we do the doing. We do the practicality. You join IPOB. You fund the ESN. You fund IPOB so that we protect ourselves. That is only thing. Otherwise, you pray, hey, God, okay? No. Which God? Is it the European God you are calling? Which God? Which God? Nature does not punish any race. Let me tell you something. Any race or a nation that is fighting for the interests of that nation, their own people, not individual. Even if they kill others, other races, even if they destroy other races, know you this, nature does not go against them. I'm a Monday on the dynamics of this world. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe when the line open, please, people will tell me. My people on our I don't know. Nature. If you think that you are praying, God will punish you full and hate. No. Their Allah will be blessing them more and more because they are fighting for their collective interest. It is for you now to rise up, organize yourself. When now you call on your own spirituality, it will happen. It will help you, even if you commit genocide, but against other races, for your own community or your own national interest. That's why America can go to Vietnam and unleash Agent Orange. Are you hearing me? And today they kill the pregnant women. Agent nerve gas that consumes everybody. They breathe it and die. They continue progressing because they are fighting for their collective interest. Are you hearing? It's not individual interest. Are you hearing me? Now. I work on na-aga na-achụ ndị iro anyị na-egbugodu ha achọ ka anyị gbuo ha anyhow, commit a genocide. As long as we can get away with it physically, there is nothing like spiritual repercussions. It doesn't exist, for your information. So when you are praying, God will punish. Obasanjo, he come back and start taunting everybody. I use Igbo to kill Igbo. He committed atrocities in our land. He's still there enjoying. On a boom, Gowon is there. All of them, Janjuma, all of them, they committed atrocities. They are there. So the way you see things, you misunderstand the way nature works. That is why you are gullible. You cannot use prayer or anything to. No. Fulani, they are galvanized. They are fighting to collect land from you, not for their individual, individual progress or individual benefit. No, for their collective, they are fighting, bringing their Fulani to come and take your land, take over your land. Anything they commit, Their nature is not against them all. Nature is not against them because they are fighting it in order to capture you. It is now you, as a people, we, in order to resist, join IPOB, sponsor, donate. Now we continue fighting, resistance. Look at what Israel is doing, Netanyahu. The ICC have sentenced him, put him on hold. Could be arrested. I know it's just, for politics sake. But look at, they are committing atrocities against others. Do you know, if you study how Zionism started, there was a time, before 1948, there was a time the Jews were terrorists. As you are hearing, they are calling Al-Qaeda. That is the way they were referring to the Jews. They terrorized Britain. They Britain in mandate of Palestine. They terrorize the Arabs. They will go and put bomb in where children everywhere will explode because they are fighting for survival of their race. Are you hearing me? There is no, nature is not against them. Where nature will be against you is when you are doing something against your own people. That is where nature is against you. But once you are fighting a collective race, a collective fight for the interest of your people, you can do anything. The only condition is as long as you can get away with it physically, either through sanction, you can get away with it through international community, you can play and meander. That is the only repercussion there. Nothing spiritual. The nature there, because they are using their own God, they have their own God. Your own God will protect you if you really call on him or do something that he likes or he wants. Every nation, every community has their God. So, are you hearing me? They supplanted our own and give us foreign so that we continue beating about the bush. They have killed 3 farmers. Somebody sent me the video of people in the hospital, wounded people. Mandi, some people, their hands are almost cut off. In a Hamufu, they resume attack. Their extension is in a Hamufu. Please, I don't want any person to call me. I don't need nobody to call me. Their extension in a Hamufu issues a local government area of Enugu State after armed herdsmen attack Mbuji community, killing 3 farmers and injuring several others. The brutal attack, which occurred on Friday, has left the community in shock. Video clips showed one of the victims slaughtered inside his right farm with a basket of cassava he had harvested just before the attack. The attack is not just an isolated incident. Between 2017 and 2022, suspected Fulani militias sacked over 20 farm settlements in a Hamufu community, killing at least 123 locals. Are you hearing the statistics? When we tell you support what we are doing because he didn't, you will say, the Enugu people now, if you reach here in Imo, we will deal with them. Now lie. Because you are gullible and stupid. Whatever that happens to any part of Biafra land happens to all of us, for your information. Between 2017 to 2022, they have sacked over 20 farm settlements in a Hamufu, killing at least 123 locals. When they say 123 locals, put another 0, 1,000 plus. This is the official one. Are you hearing me? This is what we are suffering in our land. And this is why ESN, when we are calling, shouting that people should help, donate, support what we are doing, this is one of the reasons. This is one of the reasons. But do you know what Tinubu said? Tinubu said in Brazil, Tinubu said, this is another news headline. President Tinubu speaks on steps to address a farmers' headers clash, boost to food security. That is Tinubu. So when the Fulani militia come to Hamufu and kill people, it is a farmers' headers clash. Do you see the propaganda misinformation they are giving to the world? That is why you must support what you are doing. You support Radio Biafra, support IPOB, support the ESN, because the work we are doing is very, very tedious to serve everybody. The Tinubu is going on saying that he will address the farmers' headers clash. So, Fulani men that left Sahel, left Burkina Faso, invited, brought in by their Fulani countrymen in Nigeria, from Sokoto, and they took them, they financed them, they give them arms to go to Hamufu, a community in Enugu State. We have food, the best place, richest, one of the richest lands in Igbo land. They go there, they pursue people, kill people, sack 20 farm communities. Now they call it farmers' headers clash. And we say we are on the media. You see, people are on the media gossiping, bringing saga. You must make sure you continue telling the international community in the social media that look, this thing that Tinubu is saying that it is farmers' headers clash, it is nothing but misinformation. They are be playing this Bala Mohammed Sokoto governor's clip I used to play. Be playing it in your platform, at least in your social media, to tell people, to tell to whom it may concern that look, this is not farmers' headers clash. It is a calculated move to bring Fulani to occupy our land. How many of our people used to play this Njeman's revelations in their social media platforms? How many? No, tell me now. On our social media now, some of us, some of our people. How many used to play all these things in order to counter what is happening to our people, in order to counter the misinformation? You see what many of our people are doing is if we don't do this thing, we don't get it, we will all perish. We either get what we are doing or we perish. All of us. You see that that man, I played his voice. That's a person that reality reached him. He now understood and said, okay, I cannot, I was thinking that Nigeria is not like this, that I had contacts. But all of a sudden, this thing happened, Nigeria happened to me. So I am even calling on our social media warriors to start educating people. To start, I am calling on social media warriors to start educating the world that there is nothing like a farmer's headers clash. This is a propaganda meant in order to do what? To misinform the world, please. Be playing the clip of Njemanze. He's on YouTube. Educate the world population on what we are suffering as a people. Not only this one, say this one, do this one, please. Please. President Tinubu wants to address a farmers' headers clash in Brazil. That is, but in Hamufu yesterday, they killed 3 farmers, if not more than that. This is despicable. We must continue in what we are doing. We must continue in what we are doing, please. Let me read another news headline. Let me see whether there is another news headline. Okay, crisis in this news headline: crisis rocks Celestial Church in Lagos State over controversial 5 million donation. This one is normal thing. It's a church, a second church, it's a money matter. They are not fighting over spiritual issue. They are not fighting over Namor. They are fighting because of physical money. That is it. So number one thing is economy. That is number one thing in our land. That is number one thing. Economy. Your belly. That is what controls. That is why the Fulani, they want to make us, they want to bring artificial famine in our land. It is part of Biget agenda. Do you know what it means by sacking 20 farming communities in Hamufu? Destroying their farmlands, rice farm. No, you don't know because you are not a part of that. You say you are hearing it in Hamufu, it's very far from you. You don't know that what happens there also it affects each and every one of us. Do you see that? Let us remove gullibility and join hands together in order to support what we are doing. Now, let me go direct to the topic of my submission today, please. The topic of my submission. As I said, it says, in pursuit of the right knowledge. Time is no more in my no. Time is no more on my side. As a brother used to advise that I should be limiting my programs so that people can be able to be digesting it. Because when you talk too much on our people at a time, they will be having a lot of diminishing return. It will enter from one ear and get out from another. No more concentration. But we must continue. I'm talking about in pursuit of the right knowledge. Let me start by saying that knowledge is an awareness of facts, a familiarity with individuals and the situations, or a practical skill. It is facts, information, and skills are acquired through experience or education. The theoretical or practical understanding of a subject. That is a brief definition of knowledge. For me, the right knowledge is that which exerts positive impacts in our environments. That is the right knowledge. Because I'm talking about the pursuit of the right knowledge. There are different knowledges. Can I put knowledge? There are different knowledge. But what matters to us is the right knowledge. Now, for me, the right knowledge is that which exerts positive impact in our environments. It is that which makes us productive and profitable to our society. Any knowledge that doesn't add value to our environment is a complete waste. It is simply excess luggage. Now, let me give you an example. During the Middle Ages, from 5th to 15th century, you have a early Middle Age and late Middle Age. From 5th to 15th century, during the Middle Age, or during the Middle Ages in Europe, the perception and organization of knowledge underwent a significant transformation that helped make possible the ideas and accomplishments of scientific revolutions during the Renaissance in the early modern period. Let me repeat because I want to bring out something here. During that Middle Age, during the Middle Ages in Europe, the perception and organization of knowledge underwent. Do you see? There is an organization of knowledge. Knowledge could be organized. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Note that phrase. Organization of knowledge. It underwent a significant transformation that helped make possible the ideas and accomplishments of scientific revolution during the Renaissance in the early modern period. The transformation of organized knowledge, that is what we are doing here in our time. We are trying to organize our knowledge and to transform it to what will be profitable in our quest to restore a country. Because it happened in Europe. That is why they are developed. They organize their knowledge and transformed it. That transformation helped make possible the ideas and accomplishments of the scientific revolution. That is why we are saying, going back to our roots, that is why we are saying, subjecting everything to the altar of reason, so that we remove superstition, so that we can be able to go organize our knowledge towards science, scientific proof. You know, when our knowledge is scientific, it makes us productive. Do you know the reason? One of the reasons why most Africans are not productive, they believe in handout. Because one, our knowledge is not based on scientifically based. We have our belief. It's belief. We still believe. So we believe that God will bring food. Okay, God will bring food when IMF give any condition and say, okay, we will give you money to buy food from China, importation of your goods and properties, anything from China. You shout hallelujah that God have done it. Do you see that? It does not make you to be productive, because your knowledge is not scientifically based. It is about belief. When you believe on miracle, somebody was talking about, I was having a conversation, private conversation. Somebody was telling me how our youth today are lazy. No person wants to do boy or learn art. I mean, work, craft again. Unlike us, I say, why would they learn? Where we have lost anything concerning our tradition? Why would they learn? Why everything now is based on Ibutike? All of a sudden, miracle. Okay, all these things are promoted in our land. In churches, it's promoted. In shrines, they are promoted. What that things that are foreign to us? Why will they work? When they see you go to learn, do boy, indenture the servitude, according to our tradition, they will laugh at you and say, you want to stay 7 years to be boy. Whereas before that 7 years, before 2 years, I don't hit. So do you see? And they promote it. Nowadays, even in social media, you see children, Igbo people that are not up to 15 years praying money. We are shouting it here on Radio Biafra. We are rotting as a race, spraying money. I was scrolling, I saw some children spray money to their mother. Children that are, whether they are up to 12 years. How do they get? And their mother is shouting, hallelujah. Oh, Jesus, I have changed my situation. Oh, this is what is the problem we are having. And we are searching for somewhere else. You go to churches tomorrow, they promote miracle. Oh, miracle is happening. It's happening. Tomorrow will be a day. Or 1 week will be, this week will be a week. What are you doing? Our women are doing olosho in every part of this world. And pastors are encouraging them that this week will be your week. So your customers, if your customers as men are sleeping with you, maybe in a day you are getting 10 customers sleeping. So this week will be a week in Jesus' name. 100 customers men will be sleeping with you. That is what it means. And we are looking for the cause of our problems. We are looking for our societal decay. We are looking for why children are no more going on indentured servitude. Because they want to get the gambute. That is the problem. But we are marching happily into abyss until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu suffers. That is what vexed the British. The coming of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu annoyed Britain, because the place they are pushing us into hell. As a people, I'm telling you, so that we become nothing. They have divided us. They carved our race, Igbo land. They carved it into some into Kogi. Kogi, they become North. Aye. Are you hearing it? They carved the Igbo communities into North, into Kogi, and Benue. So they are Northerners. And we will act. They acted as if nothing happened. What kind of people they wanted to destroy us so that we became like a Taino people of South America. They are no more in existence. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Until Nnamdi Kanu resurfaced. He surfaced and started telling our people the reality of what is in stock for us by the British. They tried everything, lobbied and created everything, south to south, just to undo us as a people. They make sure they corner us. All of a sudden, Cross River becomes south to south, whereas Imo is southeast. Imo is more south when you look at it in the map. In reality, Imo normally is more south than some part of Cross River. Are you getting it? But to undo us to destroy us as a race, they make sure they do anything, even if it's impossible, they do it to corner us and squeeze us into a 5-state. They call once you call Igbo, they say, oh, 5 states, Anambra, Enugu, Imo, Abia, Ebonyi, finish. Our people are like zombies watching us being swallowed alive. Now, Rivers is no more Igbo land. Igbocha is no more Igbo land all of a sudden. All of a sudden, Delta is no more Igbo land. And we are quiet about it. IPOB has been shouting, has been doing everything possible in order to open the eyes of our people. We Igbo community is in the whole southeast, south, and the two north. I say Igbo people, but they cornered us. If not for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if not for IPOB, we will be swallowed life. Swallowed life. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Now, remember, I'm talking about in pursuit of the right knowledge. As I was saying, during the Middle Ages in Europe, the perception and organization of knowledge underwent a significant transformation. That transformation helped to make possible the ideas and accomplishments of the scientific revolution during the Renaissance of the early modern period. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started by broadcasting here, by telling us, informing us, telling us that look, there is a need for us to change the way we listen, so that we can be able to accept, to be able to make into reality the coming of the type of Biafra we want. That everything should be based on reason, so that it will make us, we become productive. Do you get the logic now? Knowledge could be organized. This is why we have educational curriculum. Yes, you have to organize the knowledge for the interests of the race, the nation. It should be organized. That is why we have educational curriculum. That is the path. Curriculum, just the pathway. But sadly, our educational curriculum was organized by our colonizers, which only served their interests and not ours. Do you see it? The curriculum they handed in to us is the pathway that benefits them, so that they start teaching us something that is foreign to us. We start learning something that cannot benefit our environment. That is why we depend on foreigners in order to eat, in order to clothe. That is why we depend on foreign things. In order, we put value on foreign things. That is why they mock you when you say, you see, I wear, they wear a barmaid. Me, I know they wear a barmaid though. You see, my own now foreign. Because that is the type of education we are being put into. To value foreign things more than us. That we are inferior. That is the curriculum our colonizers gave to us. To tell us, to make us accept that Mungo Park discovered the River Niger. Our African technique and knowledge is the only path to solving African problems. We must not depend on the Western ideology to solve African problems. I want you to listen to this clip, please, by one of our one formidable Wada Chika. Chika Zanya Esiobo. I want you to listen. Very, very eloquent and formidable. I want you to listen to it, please. It's a clip. I will play it and analyze for you to understand what I am talking. Please. I want you to listen. Listen attentively.
Reminded me of the fact that not much has changed in the education curricula in Africa. Looking at the alphabet sheet reminded me of the fact that not much has changed in the education curricula in Africa. Some decades back, I was out of a similar alphabet sheet. And because of that, I struggled for years. I struggled to reconcile my reality with the formal education I received. I had identity crisis. I looked down on my reality. I looked at my ancestry. I looked at my lineage with disrespect.
Because of the educational system that we received, we no longer we are different from our reality. We disrespect anything that has to do with us as indigenous people, with us as a people. We disrespect them, we disregard them, and love foreign things, including gods. They tell you that, oh, we are worshiping idol. Do you see eba ke guru ayi wayo eh? Sometimes some say, I don't know, I believe now ndị a ji ọgwụ m ga-asị ndị akara ya ọgwụ mana is lie. Yeah, propaganda, consistency in propaganda. They come, they say, oh, we are worshiping idol. No, Ikenga is idol now. And they brought their own idol. The real idol. Do you remember Mazi Nnamdi Kanu condemning saying that Aname for Aroshe? Do you know what is Aroshe? That thing you are calling, that foreign god you are calling, that in his name every knee shall bow, is that is Okutuku that Okutuku Aroshe. Oh yeah, Okutuku Aroshe. Oh, this one is the mother of God. Is Aroshe Apere, the real Aroshe Apere. When you are worshiping foreign gods, it is Aroshe. It might not be Aroshi to the indigenous people, to the Europeans, but to you as a foreigner, it is Aroshi to you. When you are going to Mecca as an African to go around their Kaaba, 7 times, bowing down, that you are worshiping foreign god is Aroshi. They come, they say, no, what we are doing is Aroshi. Now they supplanted it, brought their own. This is the highest scam of the millennium. Please listen again.
Looking at the alphabet sheet reminded me of the fact that not much has changed in the education curricula in Africa. Some decades back, I was taught out of a similar alphabet sheet. And because of that, I struggled for years. I struggled to reconcile my reality with the formal education I received. I had identity crisis.
I struggled to reconcile with the reality, with my reality, with the education I received. And I started having identity crisis. That is what this one is saying. He's saying it, talking to the international audio. International people that are there watching him, watching her. their educational curriculum brought identity crisis to us, both religional, everything. We discarded everything concerning us. When you see made in Aba, you say no. Made in Italy is more better. Made in Vietnam is more superior. It is what they give to us. It is all round. Are you hearing what I'm saying? They conquered us, yes. They colonized us, yes. But today, it is we that are human beings. To prove that we are human beings, we are rising up to understand. Because maturity comes with responsibility. We are matured enough in order to understand that they scammed us. That is what we are doing. You know, when you conquer a people, you conquer their God. They supplanted their gods on us and made us understand that, oh, I need better. So we started having identity crisis. Continue listening.
I looked down on my reality. I looked at my ancestry. I looked at my lineage with disrespect. I had very little patience for what my life had to offer around me. Why? A is for apple. A is for apple. A is for apple, is for that child in that part of the world where apples grow wild. Who has an apple in her lunch bag? Who goes to the grocery store with her mom and sees red, green, yellow, apples of all shapes and colors and sizes? And so introducing education to this child with an alphabet sheet like this fulfills one of the major functions of education, which is to introduce the learner to an appreciation of the learner's environment and a curiosity to explore more in order to add value. In my own case, when and where I grew up in Africa, apple was an exotic fruit. 2-3 times a year, I could get some yellowish apples with brown dots, signifying thousands of miles traveled, warehouses stored in to get to me. I grew up in the city to very financially, comfortable parents. So it was my dignified reality. Exactly the same way cassava fufu or ugali would not regularly feature in an American, Chinese, or Indian diet. Apples didn't count as part of my reality. So what this leads to me, what introducing education to
Let me say something in what Wada said so far. When we talk about, for example, you see, when we talk about Apple, for example, you see that Apple is even promoted in our land. They give you the nutritional value of apple. An apple a day makes this and that go. No cancer, no the other. How do they say it again? They give you the nutritional value of apple. But we don't even research on Odara. Odara is not apple. Odara is Odara. It's a noun. So, because that is what we have. But they try to impose their curriculum. They try to impose you. They make you now start studying the nutritional values of apple, which is not, you are not producing in our land. It doesn't grow in our land like that. If it is not now that they started introducing it. They force you, in order to put more value on it because it comes from them. That is the correct. Now, as they are trying to establish publish the nutritional values of apple, what makes us not to publish also research on the nutritional values of something like Odara and give it out and promote it? How many people are even planting Odara seeds, Odara trees today? We saw Odara is even going down in our land. Do you see? But you want to plant the apple. Do you see how they push us into a curriculum that is a pathway, the type of education and knowledge that doesn't suit us, that doesn't have the reality that we are facing in our land? Let us continue listening.
me with A is for Apple, made education an abstraction. He made it something out of my reach, a foreign concept, a phenomenon for which I would have to constantly and perpetually seek the validation of those it belonged to for me to make progress within it and with it.
Do you hear what she said? They push us into a foreign concept that you will always seek the validation of those that brought this to us for you to go through. That is why now, how many PhD holder that studied agriculture that will tell you the correct nutritional value, or that is the nutrition, the nutritional makeup of udara. How many? How many? In the laboratory that we take accurate, the same way they accurately project the nutritional makeup of apple, but they cannot tell you the nutritional makeup of odara, which is our own thing, because they push you into studying apple, which is not your reality. So they put us into perpetual conflict, opposite to the reality that is in our land, that is facing us. They started pushing on. I could remember you reading primary literature, to read the what do you call it? Different. Why do I forget all these names? Where you see snows, you'll be reading about snows in a literature. You don't know what is snow. You never see it before. But they put you there so that you'll be studying it, and it has nothing to do with the reality that we have. Are you getting what I'm saying? If not for somebody like Chinedu Achebe that wrote things that are reality to us, we'll be dreaming of snow, which we don't have snow in Biafra land. But right from primary school, they are teaching us snow, which means the education, the type of knowledge they want us to have is foreign, something that has no reality in our land. That is why you see PhD holders, those that schooled in Harvard, that have a bag of 5 PhDs. But when they are speaking abstracts. It's not our reality. That is what this lady is trying to explain. Let me continue, I beg. I think I went back, but let me continue.
Comfortable parents. So it was my dignified reality. Exactly the same way cassava fufu or ugali would not regularly feature in an American, Chinese, or Indian diet. Apples didn't count as part of my reality. So what this leads to me, what introducing education to me with A is for Apple, made education an abstraction.
This lady is saying is the reason why many of our people, when you ask them, they say no, it's Igbo that brought education, because they are seeing education as if it is a foreign concept. They don't understand that we had education before the Europeans come. There's no way you can explain it for them to understand, because when we were producing pottery, this is a part of our education. Only it needs development. The Europeans started industrialization, industrial revolution, I think in 16th, 17th century. How many years today? They were living like us, doing pottery with hand. We were doing blacksmith like any other people in the world. Okozo. That is why you have Oka, the capital of Anambra. Okozo, blacksmiths. Ndi Okwanka. We had the scientists in our land before the white people came. That is why we were able to mold potteries and things, jewelries that has been there for thousands of years. But when you are explaining education, ask an average Igbo man what is education, who brought education. Yeah, Igbo brought education to us. This is pure ignorance. Pure ignorance. Continue listening. Because our people are seeing education as a foreign concept. No, it is not. It is not. The Europeans came and supplanted our education. They used their curriculum. They were, they conquered us. So they manipulated us. That's why both in religion, they made us hate anything we are doing is evil, is bad. Oh, we have no education before they come. We are wearing clothes. But we were farming, producing hoes and different farm materials. We were producing that is science. Oh, if our people could understand what these people did to us.
He made it something out of my reach. A foreign concept, a phenomenon for which I would have to constantly and perpetually seek the validation of those it belonged to, for me to make progress within it and with it. That was tough for a child. It would be tough for anyone. As I grew up and I advanced academically, my reality was further separated from my education. In history, I was taught that
my reality was further separated from my education. I don't know whether people are catching this. Our reality was separated from the education we got from the colonizers. And it is suffering us, it is making us suffer putting us in the type of gullibility we are today. That is why we take them as superior. That is why we take everything foreign as superior. Because they erased anything concerning our education, that we were good for nothing, that the history of black race started from the coming of the white people, which is blatant lie and propaganda. When you look at the history of what is going on in the world today, can you tell me that these people, they mean good for black people like us, like Africa? Just tell me. The way they are brutal and evil and wicked, look at how they are. You see the truth. You see justice. They don't care about justice. What matters to them is might. They want to impose that might on everybody. Even to their own brother, that is Russia. Now, to humiliate them, talk less of what they did to us. We that are strangers to them, Africa. Can you imagine?
Scottish explorer Mungo Park discovered the Niger River. And so it bothered me.
He said because of the education they give to us, they have to give us the education that somebody traveled, just the same thing we are saying here every day. Somebody have to travel thousands of kilometers from Scotland down to Africa, to Guinea, to our land, in order to discover the source of a river where our ancestors have been drinking for thousands, if not millions of years back. Does it make sense? That is what one is trying to explain.
My great-great-grandparents grew up quite close to the edge of the Niger River. And, I mean, it took someone to travel thousands of miles from Europe to discover a river right under their nose. No. What did they do with their time? Playing board games, roasting fresh yams, fighting tribal wars. I just knew my education was preparing me to go somewhere else and practice and give to another environment that it belonged to. It was not for my environment where I grew up. And this continued, this philosophy undergirded my studies all through the time I studied in Africa. It took a lot of experiences and some studies for me to begin to have a change of mindset. And I will share a couple of the remarkable ones with us.
Listen.
I was in the United States in Washington, D.C., studying towards my doctorate. And I got this consultancy position with the World Bank Africa region. And so I remember one day, my boss, we were having a conversation about, on some project. And he mentioned a particular World Bank project, a large-scale irrigation project that cost millions of dollars in Niger Republic that was faltering sustainably. He said this project wasn't so sustainable, and he bothered those that instituted the whole package. But then he mentioned a particular project, a particular traditional irrigation method that was hugely successful in the same Niger Republic where the World Bank project was failing. And that got me thinking. And so I did further research and I found out about TASA. TASA is a traditional irrigation method where 20 to 30 centimeter wide and 20 to 30 centimeter deep holes are dug across a field to be cultivated. And then a small dam is constructed around the field. And then crops are planted across the surface area. What happens is that when rain falls, the holes are able to store the water and appropriate it to the extent that the plant needs, the water. The plant can only assimilate as much water as needed until harvest time. Niger is 75% scorched desert. So this is something that is a life or death situation and been used for centuries. In an experiment that was conducted, a plot of land, two similar plots of land were used in the experiment. And one plot of land did not have the TASA technique on it, similar plots. The other one had TASA technique constructed on it. Then similar grains of millet also were planted on both plots. During harvest time, the plot of land without TASA technique yielded 11 kilograms of millet per hectare. The plot of land with TASA technique yielded 553 kilograms of millet per hectare. I looked at the research and I looked at myself. I said, I studied agriculture for 12 years, from primary to senior 6, as we say in East Africa, SS3 in West Africa, or 12th grade. No one ever taught me of any form of traditional African knowledge of cultivation, of harvesting, of anything that will work in modern times.
Do you hear what this one is saying? What they teach us in school, formulated by the West, is their own way of life. They never teach us anything that our ancestors did that is sustainable, that is right. That is the example he gave to you. He gave you an example of what happened during her doctorate research in Niger Republic. A cultivation method they call TASA, with what World Bank has been financing. That is, and is not working. But the traditional people of Niger, they have been using farming technique which works. They experimented it, and 1 hectare of land that used that traditional system of TASA gave 500 and something kilograms of wheat per hectare. Whereas the other one financed millions and millions of dollars by World Bank. When a hectare produced only 11 kilograms. Do you see the difference? But they will not teach us in school. They will not allow us to study things that our ancestors did, so that we develop on it. That is the reason why World Bank is telling Tinubu. Even I thought is in World Bank is telling Tinubu that everything is working, that he should continue, because nothing. They are imposing their system on us, on Africans, because we don't have a IMF director. Georgieva comments Tinubu's reform, says they will generate jobs for Nigeria. It doesn't matter, they must use Western style. They don't want us to develop our traditional system, so that people will not say, who are the black people to allow us to develop our thing. That is why Nigeria is for consumption. of imported goods. Everywhere, anywhere I bring is from the car. Expired cars in Korea are brought into mostly Nigeria and Ghana. After 10 years, cars in Korea will expire, but they are being brought in Nigeria and Ghana. And you start praising Jesus that it's a blessing. Don't you see how miserable they put us into? That is what we are trying to remove ourselves from this. In this miserable situation, they don't allow us in order to think about even developing our ancestral systems. They condemn everything that is bad, is bad. Instead, they will make us to be wasting money. That is why, let me Dangote build a refinery in Nigeria. There is oil drilling. Crude oil, Nigeria is the 5th or 6th producer of crude oil in the whole world, as they say. But I think that even Nigeria is number 1 in the world. But let us accept what they say. Dangote build crude oil. Now Dangote have to be buying crude oil with dollar because it is their system. What they impose on us. You have no right to Dangote. No. You must be buying in dollar, doing the same protocol, so that to make sure that their market, the Western market, is moving on. Make sure that the whole refineries in our land is not working. Vote to the people they put on top of us as our political elites. Tinubu is a CIA asset. It's public. CIA has openly accepted and said it, that Tinubu is their asset. So they cannot give out information about him because it will damage all the other assets they have. It is a matter of American national security. But no, Nigerians are not reacting about it. You will see tribal, no, it's our tribe. Why you Igbos? You are this and that. But you see, I say it is their asset. The person in the helms of affairs of Nigeria. That is why IMF have to tell us how to cultivate, to feed. Whereas our ancestors, before pre-European coming, before the Europeans came to our land, there is no hunger in our land in Africa. But today, they positioned us in a way, give us a curriculum that we have to study things that are abstract to us, that are foreign to us, that has no value to us. That is why we import everything. We cannot produce. How can we produce? How do we? We cannot produce. Any person, any talented boy or girl that produces something, invents something in our land is not for Nigeria. It's for America. That is the mentality. Even ask the person. He will tell you that my dream is to go to America to develop my talent, because we have been programmed to accept that in our place we cannot develop our talent. People that develop talent is abroad, is America, is Sweden, is Spain. Is a mental condition. And the politicians they put in our land using their so-called democracy is working towards it. That is why we have land. Africa have the land in Africa is more than 75% arable land in Africa. But hunger is killing. Why? Look at, as they cannot use any other thing in order to cause artificial hunger in Nigeria, they are using Fulani headsmen. If we plant, they go and destroy, go and cause confusion, so that there will be artificial scarcity, so that they will destroy natural farm crops, and we start buying GMO seeds, so that we become food dependent. That is where after all, European Union said that the rise in population of Africa is a total threat, is a threat to European security. Don't you hear that from European member of parliament? I had the video. She said it's a woman. He said that the rising population of Africa is a direct threat to Africa. So that's why they are developing everything in order to make sure that they inject the sickness, HIV, AIDS, Ebola, all kinds of sickness through food. destroying our natural farmland, so that we depend on importation, everything, clothes imported, everything imported, so that we'll be bringing diseases that is killing us, so that they can be controlling us. People that hate us to this extent, how do you think that they will give you a God? They want you to be in a heaven that is built with gold, where you and them will stay together in peace. Are you insane? Are you not insane at all? For your information, you that is listening to me, the hatred they have, they are fighting both openly and secretly in order to make sure that we don't progress. But they give you a religion that all of you, all of us, all of you, not me, I don't follow. All of you will go to heaven and stay together and be rejoicing within Nage Bereham, with St. Peter, no St. Okeafo, no St. Okeke. Oh, and you go and stay with them in peace. Whereas in this world, they discriminate against you. In this world, they do everything against you. Before you come even to their country, you suffer tire. You will almost die in deserts. You will, if you are coming illegally, you will always drown. You can drown in Mediterranean. If you are coming legally, they will suffer you to the extent that you get frustrated before they give you visa, and you spend everything, even to the extent you sell properties, but you will stay in heaven with them. Or don't you think that I got the nine here? Let me finish playing this.
And actually succeed where something imported from the West would struggle, to succeed. So it was Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, former president of Tanzania, who said that you cannot develop people.
You can never develop a people. Foreigners can never develop a people. A people will develop themselves. That's what we are saying. And that is what we are engaging in, going back to our roots. Because it is through the roots we must suck food. We must get food to develop that gives our branches and makes our branches start bearing fruits. Without the roots, the branches will shrink off, they will die off. All these things are simple phenomena, natural phenomena in the world, but do you understand them? You don't understand them now because you are not watchful. You are always ignorant. That is the thing. Julius Nyerere said, you can never develop a people. Instead, you can stimulate, activate for the people to develop themselves. That is it. And that is what we are doing. The restoration of Biafra comes from the restoration of our mentality. That's the activation of our mental development. Without mental development, you can never develop physically. It's impossible. Because without us developing our mentality to understand the rudiments of development of economics, of how nations run, you might be thinking with the Nigerian mentality that public fund belongs to, as long as it is in your hand, you can use it, you can eat it, and you eat the money, millions in your hand, the public contributed. You can bribe some few people. Any person that refuses, you turn people against him, use tongues to kill the person. That is the Nigerian primitive mentality. And that is what we are trying to remove from here. That is the development we are trying to institute, activate in our brains before the physical Biafra restoration. Continue listening.
People will have to develop themselves. I agree with Mwalimu. I am convinced that Africa's further transformation, Africa's advancement, rests simply in the acknowledgement, validation, and mainstreaming of Africa's own traditional, authentic, original, indigenous knowledge in education.
Indigenous knowledge is a key word in education. Indigenous knowledge, not foreign knowledge. Indigenous knowledge. That is the only thing that can develop Africa.
Research, in policy making, and across sectors. This is not going to be easy for Africa. It's not going to be easy for a people used to being told how to think, what to.
People being told how to think. No, think. Why are you thinking? Are you local? Think like an Englishman. Think like a European. Think anyhow. Think instead of thinking like an indigenous person, they have made us to be inferior. Are you hearing me? That is why this uh, 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 this condition, mental condition, which they put us into, you will see somebody that doesn't speak English fluently. You call him an illiterate. You look down on him in our land. You look down on him, on her, because he doesn't speak colonizer's language. He doesn't speak colonizer's language. So you look down on him. You don't care about what he has upstairs. Because he don't know how to communicate in English in a foreign language. Therefore, you start calling him no, you're illiterate. He don't even know how to express himself in English. Do you see the mental condition? But if you go to buy goods in China, the people that are bringing what you are using, you don't even ask him, do you speak? You need to look for translator or yes, translator or interpreter. Somebody that speaks Chinese. There are many of our people there. It's their work. You pay the person. He will start telling you, interpreting to you the Chinese. The Chinese man, he doesn't speak a word in English, but when it comes to productivity, they are number one. How do you equalize? How do you equate that? You carry your hundreds of thousands of dollars and pay to that Chinese illiterate that doesn't speak English. But when you come to our land, an Igbo man, before you know, he starts speaking English. In also English, sopri. In Igbo land. In Igbo land. You see, in Anambra, in Owerri, two people, two Igbos, two papa communicating among themselves in the market in English they will use. Abi, one speak English. I beg, Sabi speak English. It becomes something of pride. That is inferiority complex. Are you hearing me? Or inferiority complex. That is simple language. You speak your language, you speak English till tomorrow. If you go to Spain, before you get to work, you start learning Spanish or Portugal. Start learning Portuguese. That your English becomes nothing. Because it's just a mode of communication. Simple. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So pray in English. You go to another country that does not speak English. Before you become integrated there, you must speak their language. Do you see the thing? Now, are you going to call yourself illiterate?
To do, how to go about it. A people long subjected to the intellectual guidance and direction of others, be it the colonial masters, aid industry, or international news media. But it is a task that we have to do to make progress. I am strengthened by the words of Joseph Shabalala, founder of the South African choral group, Lady Smith Black Mambazo. He said that the task ahead of us can never, ever be greater than the power within us. We can do it. We can unlearn looking down on ourselves. We can learn to place value on our reality and our knowledge. Thank you, Asante.
Of course, we can do it. And that is what we are doing. Now, let me continue by summarizing. Knowledge is often understood as a state of an individual person, but it can also refer to a characteristics of a group of people. It could be seen as a broad social phenomenon that is similar to culture. That is knowledge. That is why I may say you understand how the characteristics of a race through their common knowledge. You must say, ndị Igbo, ha like ego na ndị ego ndị na-ere ahịa. This is the knowledge that we exhibit. They push us into exhibiting that knowledge, going indentured servitude because there is no other space for us in Nigeria. So they push us into buying and selling mostly. And we quickly organize ourselves in order to come out very stronger by engaging in just a fraction of our tradition and culture, of our roots, which is indentured servitude, Iba boy, and it helped us. It saved us from catastrophic poverty, which go on, Awolowo, Obasanjo, all of them, Danjuma, all of them put us, they sentenced us into poverty from 1970, thinking that Igbo people will be beggars in Nigeria. But today, because of the little fraction of our root which we went back to, we remembered our culture. That nine serve man and our boy, onya help, onya bido, onya help. We started and the thing helped us. Do you see? You can never develop a people because a people develop themselves. You can only activate a people to develop themselves. That is what happened from 1970 to today, and that is why the Koron Gidibam started talking like a human being. They destroyed us. They took over our money. They nationalized Nigerian properties to Nigerian properties when they know that we had no money. Igbo people had no money. 1974, 75, 76. Ogawan nationalized everything. Or is it Mohammed? Nationalize everything so that Igbo man cannot be able to purchase. But after everything, we still use going back to our roots. We do boy indenture the servitude, and today we are okay. In little bit okay. Now, why are we against going back to our roots? That going back, that indentured servitude, is it? Did we learn it from Harvard University? Many of our people today that are even PhD holders today, it is money that they made from either their parents made from Igbo boy that trained them abroad. And why are we living what is precious to us, what saved our life? This Igbo boy. Why do we look down on it? Why? Knowledge is closely related to intelligence. But knowledge is not intelligence. Because intelligence is more about the ability to acquire, process, and apply information. While knowledge concerns information and skills that a person already possesses. Yes, their ability to acquire, process, and apply information. But knowledge is that one you have already. Biafrans are very intelligent people, yes. Because we have the capability and the ability to acquire, process, and apply information. But due to colonial interruptions, we were exposed to the wrong information, leading to the terrible state we found ourselves in today. It is never too late to make amends. This is why we should try hard to unlearn looking down on ourselves. That is our traditional values. And relearn how to place values to our reality and the knowledge. Now is the time for us to organize and transform our knowledge for our benefits. This is the right knowledge. This is the pillar of Biafra restoration. That is what we are talking about. Because we had colonial interruptions. We are very intelligent people because we are eager to learn. We have the capability, the ability to learn and process information. But we were interrupted. We were exposed to a wrong information, a colonial information and propaganda that led us to a terrible state we are in. We acquired the knowledge that is not profitable to us. Instead, it is profitable to the colonial masters, to serving them, whereas in our land is of no use. Now is the time for us to organize and transform our knowledge for our benefits. This is the right knowledge. This is the pillar of Biafra restoration. I will go into a few minutes break. And when I come back, I will open the lines so that people will start calling in. Please do not go away. I will be right back. Do not go away. I'll be right back.
the fact that not much has changed in the education curricula in Africa. Some decades back, I was taught out of a similar alphabet sheet. And because of that, I struggled for years. I struggled to reconcile my reality with the formal education I received. I had identity crisis. I looked down on my reality. I looked at my ancestry. I looked at my lineage with disrespect. I had very little patience for what my life had to offer around me. Why? A is for apple. A is for apple. A is for apple, is for that child in that part of the world where apples grow wild. Who has an apple in her lunch bag? Who goes to the grocery store with her mom and sees red, green, yellow, apples of all shapes and colors and sizes? And so introducing education to this child with an alphabet sheet like this fulfills one of the major functions of education, which is to introduce the learner to an appreciation of the learner's environment and a curiosity to explore more in order to add value. In my own case, when and where I grew up in Africa, apple was an exotic fruit. 2-3 times a year, I could get some yellowish apples with brown dots, signifying thousands of miles traveled, warehouses stored in to get to me. I grew up in the city to very financially, comfortable parents. So it was my dignified reality. Exactly the same way cassava fufu or ugali would not regularly feature in an American, Chinese, or Indian diet. Apples didn't count as part of my reality. So what this leads to me, introducing education to me with A is for apple, made education an abstraction. It made it something out of my reach, a foreign concept, a phenomenon for which I would have to constantly and perpetually seek the validation of those it belonged to for me to make progress within it and with it. That was tough for a child. It would be tough for anyone. As I grew up and I advanced academically, my reality was further separated from my education. In history, I was taught that the Scottish explorer, Mungo Park, discovered the Niger River. And so it bothered me. My great-great-grandparents grew up quite close to the edge of the Niger River. And, it took someone to travel thousands of miles from Europe to discover a river right under their nose. No. What did they do with their time? Playing board games, roasting fresh yams, fighting tribal wars. I just knew my education was preparing me to go somewhere else and practice and give to another environment that it belonged to. It was not for my environment where I grew up. And this continued. This philosophy undergirded my studies all through the time I studied in Africa. It took a lot of experiences and some studies for me to begin to have a change of mindset. And I will share a couple of the remarkable ones with us. I was in the United States in Washington, D.C., studying towards my doctorate. And I got this consultancy position with the World Bank Africa region. And so I remember one day, my boss, we were having a conversation about, on some project. And he mentioned a particular World Bank project, a large-scale irrigation project that cost millions of dollars in Niger Republic that was faltering sustainably. He said this project wasn't so sustainable, and he bothered those that instituted the whole package. But then he mentioned a particular project, a particular traditional irrigation method that was hugely successful in the same Niger Republic where the World Bank project was failing. And that got me thinking. And so I did further research, and I found out about TASA. TASA is a traditional irrigation method where 20 to 30 centimeter wide and 20 to 30 centimeter deep holes are dug across a field to be cultivated. And then a small dam is constructed around the field. And then crops are planted across the surface area. What happens is that when rain falls, the holes are able to store the water and appropriate it to the extent that the plant needs, the water. The plant can only assimilate as much water as needed until harvest time. Niger is 75% scorched desert. So this is something that is a life or death situation, and it's been used for centuries. In an experiment that was conducted, a plot of land, two similar plots of land were used in the experiment. And one plot of land did not have the Tassa technique on it, similar plots. The other one had Tassa technique constructed on it. Then similar grains of millet also were planted on both plots. During harvest time, the plot of land without Tassa technique yielded 11 kilograms of millet per hectare. The plot of land with Tassa technique yielded 553 kilograms of millet per hectare. I looked at the research, and I looked at myself. I said, I studied agriculture for 12 years, from primary to senior 6, as we say in East Africa, SS3 in West Africa, or 12th grade. No one ever taught me of any form of traditional African knowledge of cultivation, of harvesting, of anything that will work in modern times and actually succeed where something imported from the West would struggle, to succeed. So it was Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, former president of Tanzania, who said that you cannot develop people. People will have to develop themselves. I agree with Mwalimu. I am convinced that Africa's further transformation, Africa's advancement rests simply in the acknowledgement, validation, and mainstreaming of Africa's own traditional, authentic, original, indigenous knowledge in education, in research, in policymaking, and across sectors. This is not going to be easy for Africa. It's not going to be easy for a people used to being told how to think, what to do, how to go about it. A people long subjected to the intellectual guidance and direction of others, be it the colonial masters, aid industry, or international news media. But it is a task that we have to do to make progress. I am strengthened by the words of Joseph Shabalala, founder of the South African choral group, Lady Smith Black Mambazo. He said that the task ahead of us can never, ever be greater than the power within us. We can do it. We can unlearn looking down on ourselves. We can learn to place value on our reality and our knowledge. Thank you. Asante San.
Welcome back. This is Radio Biafra House of Service coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name is Mazi, Jonathan Chinedu from Alu province of Biafra Land. We are here live and direct. Today is the 23rd day of November 2024. Remember the topic of my submission. I rushed it. It says, in pursuit of the right knowledge, we should try hard to unlearn looking down on ourselves. We should unlearn. When you learn something, you unlearn it. Are you hearing me? And learn how to place values to our reality and our knowledge. Our call lines are now open. Our WhatsApp and Signal line, which is what we are going to use today only, is +61 405 142 547. I repeat, +61 405 142 547. We should try very hard to unlearn looking down on ourselves, and that is what we are doing. Looking down on ourselves means looking down on our traditional values and relearn how to place values to our reality and knowledge. Before I take the first caller, well, do we ever develop or study about developing our ban, yam ban, storage of yam, which our ancestors have been doing, buying it on yam ban, and until start sprouting until the following planting season. How many of our do we does our curriculum, our educational curriculum, teach us anything to the research on developing our yam ban system from our traditional system? The answer is no, because oh God, they are in chow. We need to go down to the roots. That's it. And religion is involved. People that came and condemned everything, say they Pharisee, this is a Bible, say quite different. We are also how about the Pharisee, they carry Pharisee come idols and push into us. We worship what we don't know. Whereas we have the original. I have callers waiting. Caller on signal. You are the first caller. Mazi, can you hear me? Welcome to the program, please. You're the first caller. Start by telling us your name and where you're calling from, if you may, and going straight to your point. Can you hear me, Mazi or Ebe Ona? Can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you, Mazi Jonathan, and they want
Ndewo, Dodrege.
Mazi Jonathan, and they will, and Biafrans and Novas of people make them Mona and Mazi Bona.
Mazi, will it all look in a cool like this? You are not talking like yourself. Udodekwa.
No, Mazi do it.
Ganiru.
Ndewo, because you bara for Mazi before my Gani, who is you na the leadership, I can't have to give an ala Biafra. The doers are wise, the doors are wise, you know. Because some people on our land today, all these checkpoints are now from pillar to post. Adela reduced drastically, you know. People not reduce drastically. Now, but you know, some places, that so many places, not in Canada, so many places are occupied in that state for years. And we know that is the collective work of the leadership and our people. We appreciate them, but in appreciating leadership, I'm from Nahane only some places na Alangwa, you know. Ishi like Oben Gawa Aba Ebafe Obiga ga-enweta ngwuyekwe ịgbafe ngwuyekwe ahụ ebe ọ dị ga-enweta wo lahịa ihe from ihe before ga-adọwa ala ojii batara n'ime Aba. All these places, most especially ihe that ihe Johnson I'm a CG that place, even communities, but even people now diverse. Coupled with this Obiga too, and then these communities has been in this mess for more than 2 decades. And in primary school, secondary school, some of those things in due to crisis. I hate our people to more than I know because the more you invite the enemy, you can no longer ask them to go. You have invited them. Your politician has invited them. The Igbos have invited them. But asking them, all the guys, giving water with cup, a lot of things are it's not by giving. And this is what is happening in this area, man. The leadership is doing perfectly well, but to be going because Alangwa is that I'm not an Alangwa man. I'm an Alangwa man. But we must say the truth. Alangwa is representing us in this very struggle. They stood firm. Aba is a testimony to that. So, because that area, those communities are still, that is, imagine in a hostile community, whereas we all know that these military people are not only there to secure or to do their collection of money on the road. In the evening, they will go into communities, begin to harass and rape our young daughters. This is how they will be breeding bastards in our land. And some of these children no longer in our home some character gonna do the here from me is because of all this mixed blood. And the police, they are doing it as it's like an agenda for them. And this is why important because when you feel I have lived in a place with women. I'm talking out of experience in Hamilton and how they infiltrate, how they demoralize our men, make our boys look so use them as slave and they are our guests is what they will be doing after. Go even to the point that a man will find your daughter and come to your house and carry her and go with you as a father, you won't need it. So yeah, it's what is going on in our land. The man is, I said, let me bring this out because all the important. Who bigger, n'ihe before that bịawa alụghị ụra time akwụkwọ my back. So man, another thing I will say before I drop is about this issue about this clip about our brother exposing what the Nigerian government did to him. In my house, life of an able man, just like you rightly pointed out. And to be honest with you, I am happy for this kind of thing, man. So that it's the only thing that can make some of them to think, if I thought they want to think. Can you imagine somebody doing it to know him, mother, how I am, man, the person will be like, what you're let you have the money, and I'm one keep back here, say, him and also come with that, but our people, because they don't even care, just like this clip is played, the West education separates you from the originality. It makes you look like a foreigner in your land. So this is why you see that most of them are they're full here now. Go to that place. I have not been, but we see everything on social media. People, almost all of our brothers who based in Abuja are the ones now turning our culture to Alhaji Cap. They are using it to even to keep the half connection. And in this very sorry situation of this ban now, you will see other people, instead of them to learn, they will tell you that that man connection no reach. So if not them, then go, they know what happens to them. We know who they know, just like you pointed out. Our people are not people who take corrections. They always want to allow that to happen to them. And this is why our land is being taken away. It's not for the coming of IPOB, through Mazi, Nnamdi, Kanu, and ESN. Mazi, we must continue. Our land is under siege, but we must liberate ourselves because it's a task that must continue until Biafra is restored. No going back. We know the challenge and we are prepared ahead of them.
There, Mazi, of course. It's a disease holding many of us, Nibo. Something will happen to somebody, your brother, you will not learn. You will say, you blame the person, no, you know, Sabi, now me, Sabi pass. Is it not the same thing? It's everywhere. Look at the opposite of them. They are promising him. Kill your people and, you know, you become the vice president. You are our man. He will not use what happened to others to learn. Ojos Okalo cried. How many billions Ojos Okalo, you know, spent, wasted on them, forming APC and all of them? How many of our people he killed? He brought a Ruga in our land. Still, they sold him off. They disappointed him after everything because he's in Yamani. Does it make our people to learn? No, they tell you, no, don't worry. I know how to play. I used to say it. If you see an Igbo man not many misbehaving in face of danger, you start exposing to him about the danger that is facing him, and he tell you that nothing matter. Don't worry, Uchem there. Say na Uche got do anything. It happened to Agi Eurosi now. Now Uchem there, Amadiebo, Kayan Napove, the propaganda. I'm a Konyamo. Again, again, you Shimina debu. Oh, my, you are Woshimine. Mwajima, Mwajiki, Dodam Barak. Mwaji kendi lekweni lekweni nako emazikonya muti God izikwe nuchem de ya na hapo ihe nako. When the thing happened, he could not live to testify. Like this, our brother, I played his clip. He said the thing happened to him before he doesn't pay attention to his environment, what is happening to others. So it have happened to him. That's why he realized that in Nigeria happened to him. Caller on WhatsApp, please. Welcome to the program. Go on. Can you hear me? Call on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp. Are you there? Let me see. Caller on WhatsApp. Why are you not hearing me? Caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me? Please go on. Go on. Go on. I've been talking. Yes, go on. Go on. I've been calling you. Go on.
their fellow brother because of they see where they are eating. You understand me now? When an Igbo man is surviving somewhere, you don't care. Just look at it, Big Ban and all the rest of them. They are being praised, media hyped, and they think they will accepted. But when it happened to them, they will realize. But my problem is this: so many of them who will come back now. Nigeria trying to bypass us, but the doors are wide to create a force movement called autopilot, so that people that may return to their mind, when they come back, they will not know where to stand to support. You understand me now? That's why we are against criminality of all kind. Because some of these people may say, well, what do we do? And they will look that there's people like IPOB. But when they see the criminal activities of these people, they will not know where to stand and where to put their money. And you have people like Kanu and his the rest, who is going behind the door, asking people's money, genuine people who want to support us. Then when the people see their activity, they will say, oh, where do we do? And they think everything is polluted. That is what we are saying. Stay away from criminality. IPOB have nothing to do with the criminality. We are here to save our people and not to destroy them. Understand me now, Mazi? So another thing is this: we as IPOB member, we must be versatile, both in the Twitter as well as and social and what the TikTok, just like as we are doing. Mazi, we have been able to engage international community, just like such as South African and other African country in TikTok, trying to debunk the lies of Nigerian agents there. They went there. They are selling propaganda against the Igbos, that Igbos are the problem. Igbos are this, Igbos are that. But when we came, the IPOB, venture IPOB troop in the Twitter and social TikTok, and we are controlling it as we talk now. We have been able to debunk them, telling the South African the real thing that is happening to Nigerians, and the thing the Nigerian governments are doing secretly. They don't want people to know. But these people they were paid to be defending them, they are doing that because they were under payroll. Today, now South Africa have known between our pure agitation and Nigerian agents. You understand me now, man? So that is what I'm encouraging IPB member. We must stand up in this media war because we are into media war. Of which, if we stop, these people will overpower us in international community, and they will come back home and destroy us. So everybody must be very, very careful and know what you are doing, because this struggle, if we go back, we are gone. Just look at how Chinese men are being allowed to terrorize everybody without holding them to account. They are going away with their crimes. Understand me now? This is what we are going to take. We are going to stand up and say no, because our land is under siege. And going back to our roots is must, because that is where we start. Without our roots, we will not going to develop. Nobody will develop with a foreign religion and foreign culture and foreign language. Thank you very much, Mazi. Let me stand
There
back.
were Mazi. There were. Thank you very much. You said it. We must continue. We must continue. We must be versatile. As our brother said, we must be in WhatsApp, Twitter, even broadcasting. It will be soon. We are working towards it, broadcasting towards Twitter, TikTok, all. We must make use of everything that we have that is available to us. Caller on Mazi Perry White. Can you hear me? Oh, Mazi. You are reconnecting. No. You are reconnected. Let me go. Mazi Perry White, can you hear me now?
Yes, Mazi Jonathan.
Yeah, well, Mazi. Go on, please.
I hope I'm coming out.
You are coming out clear. Go on.
Please, in our network, there is I'm hearing. My name is Mazi Fine. Mazi Fine calling from his location. Mazi Mechuko Kabion Bensi. It allow me to divert or deviate from your topic. Mazi, I'm a victim of Eba Boy. I would like you to have a full program about Eba Boy. Mazi, Eba Boy in our land then has a very big benefit then. It's only when you have you're under your brother or your cousin. And that is why they use Nollywood to change the mind of people. Mas, I would like to have a full program about Ibaboy, what makes our people to stop going to Ibaboy again. Mas, I was a victim, as I told you, at Obumosho, Oyo State. Victim. Because British and Nigeria government use our actor to change the mind of our people. And that is why, or to say that Ibaboy benefited our people based on if it is your cousin or it is your brother, sister, or your mother, sister, or whatever that is related to you. But if it is someone else that is not your brother, is not your sister, is not your cousin, is not a relation, is not in the same village, they use Nollywood to let our people or to teach our people to, I call it second slavery. Let me stop it here until when you have a full program on that.
Mazi, let me say something here.
To stop going to boy in this our.
Mazi, can you hear me? Mazi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mazi.
Okay, let me say something before you go. Yes, you might be a victim because some people also could be a victim of maybe a wicked person that cannot settle or cannot, anything can happen in that. Yes. But let me tell you something. It is because of the system. Our system failed. Nigeria destroyed us. Let me tell you this.
Yes.
If we are in a working system, for example, a restored Biafra, these are where laws will be made that will guide this indentured servitude. Do you hear what I'm saying? Because somebody cannot come and serve you. There will be guidelines under the law. It will be programmed, streamlined by the law, legal status. That is what is called even development. We develop our culture, backing it up under the law, so that if there is anything that goes wrong, it will be determined through the law, whether it is from the servant or from the master. Do you see where we have no system that structures this? Our people, we are doing it out of our own moral, And you cannot sustain a people, a nation, through only morality. It's impossible. There must be a law by the. That is what we don't understand. You know, in Nigeria, Nigeria is a lawless place. Because maybe the master, what you are saying about whether if the person will be your brother or your cousin or your no, I've seen people that does not even know. You know, they just come from another village and take somebody because of recommendation from one person or the other, and they come. It's our culture. We are Igbo people. We are the same. He come from a far place and looking for before you know, he carry somebody from one community. And relations start from there. It happens. But because we have a no system that is backing up all these things, that is development. You know, European development started from the grassroots of their tradition and culture. It doesn't. Let me tell you, the European advancement was not a rosy ride. But they develop from their grassroots. From time to time, things used to backfire. But they you know, they gather it up with their system. That is the difference. We have no system that structures things for us. So anything we are doing is just out of moral, our morality, individual way, maybe individual morality, individual conscience. If there is any backfiring, there is no law to judge. There is no punishment for the offender. Are you now understanding what I'm saying? This is our problem. Otherwise, this thing,
Mazi.
yes. Otherwise, this thing that is going down, it is what helped our people. It is what helped Igbo people right after the war. It is one of the main things that helped us to rise up. According to, is it World Economic something something? Igbo, I mean, Igbo in indentured services is the largest incubator, economic incubator in the world. It is worldwide. It is there. It is statistics. But we have no country, no system to back it up with law, to structure it. Because some things, when it goes after, now law will come inside, the system will come inside. That is where country comes inside. But we have no country. Do you see the problem? So anybody behaves as he wants. God will carry you and he serve you. You will you will serve Oga for 7 years, 5 years, 6 years, nothing. He will bogoshi that you thief his thing. There is no place we can go to. You go like that. Do you see? But where there is a structure, if there is a law backing everything up, everything registered under the law, protected, the Oga is protected by the law, the boy is protected by the law, that is how things grow. Now, one more agde emebu one mother agde emebu one more. If there is anything you suspect, you go to the law. Do you see that? But in Nigeria, there is nothing like that.
Mazi Jonathan, may God bless you.
There we-
May
there we-
God bless you. I know that that's the system that make me say like this. Mazi, I'm understand, and that is why I'm praying, let Biafra come, so that our people will go back to the ancient time and the ancient day.
Of course.
Because I knew that if the system is well organized normal, I wouldn't be here to saying that I'm a victim of a Igbo boy. At Obumosho, I serve, but I thank God as today, because I know that God has a plan. As I speak Yoruba, everything let me just pause here. I believe that is a system that makes our people to behave like that, which you have said it, and that is the fact. I thank God that I'm IPOB member, hardcore in that. And we must continue until we get Biafra. Allow me to use this media to warn these my people that is circulating letters They know where they send letter telling them that they should not come out on Monday. That is another thing that is happening, Mazi. We are on ground and we are warning them. We are following the instruction of leadership, which our leader have given to them. We should cancel sit at home and we should not force anybody. And these my people trying to send letters to other markets in our location, telling them not to come out on Monday. Mazi, we are warning them. And also allow me to use this media to beg our leadership, which I have said before. There is a message, voice message we sent to them concerning our lady from the two senatorial officers in my location. They got the message, please, leadership, help us. Because I know that if our radio is speaking, our people will never be deceived. Because whatever that we did not have heard from Radio Biafra, that thing is not exist. Please, leadership, I'm begging you people. Hear our voice and our cry from these two senatorial coordinators. The message that we send to you people concerning our radio. In Anambra, our radio is not speaking. And other places, as long as Anambra is concerned. And that is why our people are the victims of what they don't know about. Mazi, don't be annoyed that I'm deviating from your topic. But it is how it is in my mind. Because I believe that if our radio is speaking in Anambra, nobody will come to market or in another place to give them letter, telling them not to come out on Monday. Or that if they come out, then we kill them, they'll do that, or this or that. We are warning them not to disturb our people. Because we can never forgive or we can never forget. Mazi, that one is apart. You see, our people, I don't know what is worrying them. I don't know whether our people have brain. But yes, they have brain. Because I may say, it's due to our people refuse to ask questions. And that is why they're using all the whole decay system to control our people. But as long as IPOB is concerned and leadership is concerned, I believe within short time, the brain of our people will come back. How can I say that I deny what I believe? Telling people that I'm a content creator is a very, very big shame to anybody that still don't want to change his mind. I'm not begging them, stay where you are. Because mbom nage when you be. And we must do it in that way. That's what I'm assuring them. But as long as leadership is concerned, Mechuko Kabiyama bless them. And that's where we stand. And that's our prayer that God will give them more wisdom to pilot this affair and this Biafran struggle. We can never be afraid of our enemy, whether they like it or not. We must turn the brain of our people. I believe that very soon our people will start doing well. Mazi, may God bless you.
You too.
We must continue not going back until Biafra will be restored.
Good
night from here, Mazi.
You know, just 1 second. Let me say something before I pick other calls. Hold on, please. A system facilitates development. People develop themselves, and the system facilitates the development. Are you hearing me? So, like, you know, the system is there. What I mean by system, that is a country, because we must belong to a country. That is, since the Westphalian Agreement, people are divided into countries and kingdoms. They have sovereignty. There are Westphalian sovereignty agreements since 15th century. That's it. That's the world order since that time. So now it is for the system to facilitate the development of the people. As the like this indentured servitude we call a boy, it is a very good thing. Had it been we have a viable system of our own, we will take into cognizance of this our tradition, and our lawmakers will make laws guiding it, so that people will be, this thing will be growing instead of dying, so that there will be punishment for maybe a boy that steals the master's money or goods or anything, and there will also be punishment for a wicked master that refuses to settle the boy, giving him false allegation. So all these things will be structured, and things will be going on developing instead of dying. That is it. And another thing, like what our brother Rose, the so-called arrest of experiment, we are watching, we are monitoring. That's why anything we don't come out and conclude with anything, we monitor. We are pragmatic in everything. We must continue. Our people, we should focus on our Biafra restoration. Any plan that Nigeria comes with, we know. If they do this thing in order to maybe promote more and militarize our land, to cause more confusion, we will know. We will hammer it here on radio, but we are monitoring. But what matters is this, that Biafra will be restored. That is where we are going. It doesn't matter the process it takes, because Britain is working tirelessly in order to knock us off guard, so that I may line this side, be at this side. No, we are watching 360 degrees like radar. So we must continue. Caller Mazi Obasi, can you hear me? You are here. Can you hear me? Welcome to the program.
Yes, Mazi.
Welcome to the program.
I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. My name is AC Obasi. I hope you can hear me too.
Go on.
Good. And I'm calling from Ghana. Mazi, thank you very much once again for enlightening us and continue to build our confidence in ourselves and in the struggle. I said build our confidence because confidence comes from the deepest knowledge of yourself and your ability, and that knowledge can only come from teachings like this. It is indeed a privilege to be part of this movement. As an IPOB member, it's a great privilege because IPOB has improved the life of so many. IPOB has educated so many. IPOB has made so many people to understand the power within and the embodiment of power that we carry with us as Biafra. I'll first of all comment on our educational system, as you've spoken about. In Ghana here, where I'm calling from, the traditional medicine, for example, what we call Weibo, has been legalized and standardized. So there is even a chemist or a pharmacist that is just for traditional medicine, which is a good thing. But something always bothers me each time I pick the box of any of these medicines or any of these drugs or medications and try to read through the ingredients. You will discover that every single herb that has been listed there, any kind of item that was used in the production of that medicine is listed in what they call in its botanical name. And I wonder to myself, what if they had listed these things in the name of the plant as we know it in at least one of the major languages in Ghana? What if they have listed it in there? At least when I read it, it would give me an idea what kind of plant was used. But no, it is in botanical name. That herbs can be in your backyard. That herbs can be in your farm. That herbs can, some of those herbs can be on the roadside. You pass them every day, trample upon them, urinate on them, and never know that this is what this herb is capable of. And it's written in plain sight, but guess what? It's written in Latin, in botanical name, as they call it in botany. That is some of the ways by which these people rob us.
Mazi, can you hear me? Let me say something before you continue. Like what you said now. Let me also. I have another different view or perspective to what you said now. Like, notwithstanding that it is tradition, it is our local medicine, which is you can find common anywhere in the bush, anywhere. But also, the owners of this have to also protect their business and make money. We should understand that also. If they imagine they speak it, they say it, they write it in common language, everybody knows. When you buy when you buy one bottle, you will go and concoct the whole thing inside the bush and do the same, prepare the same thing. Now, how do you think that the people will make money? We also let us also look to this other way, because no matter what, that's what I feel also. That's the reason also, that might be also the reason why they write all these things in hidden language called botanical name, so that not everybody can understand this, so that they can also protect their business. They have to make money also. Otherwise, if they do it in plain language, you buy one this thing and you go and mix it up, and tomorrow you are no more going to buy. You will go inside the bush and prepare your own. So I want you to also look at it in that perspective. Go on, Maz. Go on.
No, sir. Thank you very much. Now, if you buy most drinks, for example, you have their items listed. If you buy some cream, you have their items listed. Most consumables have their items listed in a common language. What you do not have is the recipe. It is how it is formulated. It is how it is measured. It is how it has come. It was turned into that final product. So I believe that some of them can still be listed. But how do you know the proportion? How do you know how to process it? That's my own take on why I feel it can still at least be listed in its name that we know it for. At the same time, since it's not usually made of one ingredient. But I do understand your point. The other part that I also wanted to mention concerning the education side, I've said this before, that those who brought us what what we consider, of course, historically, is foreign religion to us. I always said it. They were really honest with us. The documents that they have given us, right or wrong, contain within it the identity of the people whose God they were bringing to us. It was rightly declared to be the God of Abraham, the God of Jacob, the God of Isaac, the God of Israel. There was no obscurity in which God that book contains. And I'll always maintain that what I blame is the insatiable appetite, our insatiable appetite for foreign things, for all things foreign. You mentioned it when you were speaking concerning our language. We take pride in using that which we feel is not common in our environment as a way of being ahead of our peers. And that mentality has eaten deep into us to the point that we are willing to mortgage our spiritual life, our spirituality, in the hands of those that we know their origin is very questionable. This same process of trying to make us feel we look down on ourselves is being portrayed in every sector of our life. It is surrounding us in movies, in books, in religion, in pictures, in drawing, in many things. Like the movie Tarzan of the Apes, a Caucasian character who happened to be raised in the jungle of Africa where people have lived for donkey of years, suddenly was able to speak to the apes, to the animals in the forest. But those who live with them for their entire life have not developed the ability or the skill to communicate with these animals. These are some of the ways, and we watch them, we enjoy it. Concerning understanding, as we're talking about, concerning knowledge, I mean, that we need to acquire knowledge as a people. We need to acquire knowledge of ourselves, knowledge of where we come from, who we are. And as you rightly say, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was emphasizing on that for the most part of his podcast, to remind us, to call us home. And I believe that the problem of our people is not even knowledge anymore. Because we have received enough information to be able to build our knowledge base. But the greatest problem that I feel our people face is that peace between knowledge and wisdom, that peace that is called understanding, the ability to process that knowledge within a certain context, comparing with other information to be able to arrive at a critical conclusion. That understanding part, that is why when we apply that knowledge that we do not really understand, we apply it wrongly. We become emotional about it. Understanding is where I feel our people need to focus a lot. You have received the knowledge. Mazi Jonathan, Mazi Watineke, Mazi Below, so many people have come online. Mazi Samoro has given a broadcast and have spoken. Lolo Chechi Okukan have spoken. All these people have passed information. We have all listened to the Biafra. We have all heard it. But do we even understand it? Do we even understand it? Or do we even seek to understand it? Or do we just hear it and fly with it, half-baked, and begin to make mistakes, commit blunders, become become emotional soldiers, become overzealous for no good reason. Understanding, I believe we must emphasize that, because without understanding, we will not be able to properly apply that which we have acquired through teachings. And lastly, Mazi, to avoid wasting too much of time, in our social media engagement, like you have encouraged us to pour into social media and make sure that we correct certain narrative, certain disinformation and misinformation, deliberate evil propaganda, we must correct them. And one of the places that we can do that very well is on X. I want to encourage our people to try our best to be on X space, Twitter space. We should try and be there. Follow some people, try and be there. And please, when you find yourself there, I beg of my fellow IPOB members and lovers of freedom, defenders of IPOB, whether they are IPOB or not, but they defend IPOB, mostly our IPOB brothers, please keep your emotion aside. Because some of these people on these spaces, they try to prey on our emotion. They say things that will trigger you, so that when you come there, you are not able to articulate yourself, you're not able to articulate your point, and because of that, they will make the loudest noise and they will be heard. Let us learn that emotional intelligence when it comes to that kind of communication. Calm down and speak the fact that you have. If you don't have the fact, gather it whilst you're waiting to speak. Let us speak as intelligent people. Let us communicate as intelligent people. When we do that, other intelligent people will listen to us and they will know the truth from the lies. And this brings me to the point where I want to say, for those of us who are still preaching to our fellow Biafrans, Master Jonathan, you said something in the beginning that one of the reasons why the restoration of our sovereign nation, Biafra, is seemingly taking long, is so that some of these things will be experienced by people, so that even if there's going to be referendum, there is going to be majority of the people that now know for a fact, beyond what you are telling them, that it is time to go our separate ways. If you had come earlier, we will still get few people who are comfortable in Abuja and in Lagos that will not think that there is a need for it. Now it's happening to everybody, and gradually it's going to happen to everybody. So in our mobilization exercise and effort in our areas, the people we have spoken to about IPOB and about Biafra, let us not develop the attitude of saying we have told them we don't care. If they want, let them come. If they don't want, let them not come. Some people may take time. Let us do that as a labor of love, because that Biafra is a kingdom of God on earth. And so many people don't know that they need to be saved into it. Go into it with the same mentality of the missionaries, that you are saving that person from doom, and labor with love, and do not give up when they are delaying to understand the need to join forces to bring down this destructive zoo. Ndewo, Mazi, Jonathan, and thank you for the time you have given me.
There were Mazi Obasi. Thank you very much. We must continue as we are winding down towards it. Let me see who was there first. Caller on Godfrey. I don't know where you're calling from. Is it Signal or what's call on WhatsApp? WhatsApp, yes. Can you hear me? Call on WhatsApp.
Yes.
There, Mazi. Welcome to the program.
Yeah. This is Chibweze calling from Zoo Capital. Just relocated to Zoo, a member Zone Unit 1, Zone 3 in LLM, Iguacha. Just relocated to Abuja. As usual, your submission this night is one of the best, I must confess. I appreciate you and God for that submission. The analogy you used this night is what I'm going to talk about. The Eba boy phenomenon. If you watch, and the answer you gave to either the second person when you were giving, the person was bringing the fear of, some of the things that discourages people from going to that Eba boy again. Because sometimes you will suffer and nobody will say to you. And you really gave the perfect answer. And I'm of the opinion that when finally we have arrived at our destination, that will be one of the laws, I'm telling you, because that practice is really helped and is still helping till today. I know many indigenous families that that helped to be established today. You know, the something started right from Bible days. Abraham first picked his nephew, Lot, and Lot served him. He settled Lot. Abraham had a son, Isaac, from Isaac to his son Jacob. Jacob served his uh, uncle, and his uncle settled. In fact, he had to serve for 14 years. After first settlement, he was not satisfied. He had to serve another 7 years, making it 14 years, and he was settled finally. Now, after over 200 years, or from Abraham to the law was 700 years, then God have to inculcate it. When he was giving law to the people of Israel, he inculcated it there as a law, just like what you said, and make it as part of the law that how if your servant serve you, if you go and carry a servant and serve you, how you will settle him, and the behavior of a servant. If the servant finish serving and the servant don't want to leave your house, he still want to serve, what you will do to that servant. This we are the things that inculcated in the law and make it to be something that is profitable. I think in future that is exactly what will be done in Biafra land. Now, the first caller this night pointed at something happened from Obe to Ngwekwe to the flood of the soldiers there. Actually, what attract the soldiers in that IZ were these bunker, right from Owaza to other inside Obe. There are some bunker activities, and they normally carry the oil to that area. That is the reason why those soldiers are there. So in the night, some of them have their agents that are doing bunker business for them. They are not there because of even the money they are collecting from motorists. Their main purpose there is the bunkering business. And that is exactly what they are doing. So if anybody wants to stop them, it means that the bunkering business from that area will be stopped. Anywhere you see that there is this oil, you normally see them there. So they are on that as is because of the bunkering business. I think these are the major two things I wanted to comment. And I've been over my side. God bless you. Thank you for the submission this night. It's wonderful. I think it's one of the best. I think this night's submission is one of the best. I must be frank. God bless you. Thank you so much.
There were. We must continue. We must continue. Caller on signal. Mazi, Chinedu, Biafra. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mazi, I can hear you. Don't you go
The Korage. There were.
Mazi, I don't know. I'm hearing myself. I don't know if it's
it's not from here.
normal.
Your voice is coming out crystal clear and no echo. Maybe Unless if he's
Okay, so
disturbing you, you
Mazi,
can cut and call back. I don't know. But it's okay
let me
here.
carry on that way. So Mazi, what I wanted to say is that our brother that I called earlier, and I'm saying that sorry because it's painful that after you might have stayed lots of years and there was no settlement. But I want to ask this question: is there any of our way of life that have not been bastardized in Nigeria? Even the Igba boy of 18, you see that mentality of taking advantage of people or not being bothered of growing or taking care as in bringing someone's help up in a better distinct position. All those things you see that it is a thing that we learned from Nigeria. And going forward, you see that if you check in all of our gatherings, Igbos are one of the people that has the great number of, like meeting, social clubs. What have they really done as in gotten from those organizations? You see that none of them pays us. It is because we are in Nigeria. And the more we keep staying and the more we are not analytical in things that is happening to us, the more bad it gets. Just like these meetings that they do. I have checked before I was born, towns and villages have been doing meeting. And what they go there to do is to discuss as in Mayaga and Obaka Ozokwa, and teach themselves, all of those things. You see, no growth, no growth. And that is why we are, agitating to see that we go out from this very country. So, I will leave it at there. Then, secondly, this Ekperima issue, I guess we should be, as in, we should open up our eyes very well. And my mind has been running through and flown so many things. I believe this Ekperima, he has been scared because this thing that just happened is not just for nothing. Because you not tell me that Finland, they have not known that what this man has been doing is not good and he has been causing havoc in Biafran land. So I believe these people, they are up to something. And this Monday sit at home and all of this killing, I believe it has scared him. And he believes that he wants to stay away from all these attributes. And going forward, more as in days ahead, you will see that they will want to, carry out more crime. So people will now, they will be the one to still go to the social media and start saying that he's not around. But why is all of these things still happening? But anyway, they come, we are still here, and we are with the truth. And God has given us the knowledge of analyzing. We will definitely expose them in any way they come. I will leave it at there also. Then thirdly, I want to ask this colonialism in Africa. It has really bastardized all of our ways because if you check the curriculum, the educational, even the religion that he has gave us, it has made us not being in the right frame of mind, turning to different kind of people that is not helpful for our future. One of the days I was just like going watching my kids. If you watch out that what they keep saying is memory as in memory, you see that no proper education is being impacted in them, like skills, like we use myself as an example. When I was growing up, I find out that I love what skills. I love what craft, and those things are what I learned from my father. Because when growing up, I saw my father doing most of these things because my father is good in it. And none of them that I entered shop, but I was able to be doing it before I now travel and learn others. Then these days, children now, you find that the education that they are growing with, couple of we that have gone astray, they are not in the nearest future. We will have a very docile as in society that will not be helpful. And if you continue this way, it will be worst. Mazi, the echo is really disturbing me, so I guess I should leave it at there. But before I go, I will still remind our brothers and sisters that the ET's issue based on Ethiopia airline and evil that they have been doing to our people, we should not forget it and make sure that we still continue in this thing that we're doing. Mazi, thank you, and God bless you and give you more knowledge. Because today broadcast was something very nice, and I can't see myself not being around to listen to Radio Biafra on a daily basis, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the day, in the night. This place is a place where we energize ourselves and get ourselves to a proper frame of mind to continue. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We must continue. Caller on Signal. Is it? Sorry, caller on WhatsApp. You'll be the last caller. Can you hear me? Caller on WhatsApp.
I can hear you, Jonathan.
Mazi, I think is this scavenger. Am I right?
Yeah, you're speaking to a brother who's already scavenger.
Mazi, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long. Yeah, Professor, to get you on the line is very difficult. Today I've called more than 50 times, but it's not easy. But we move. Professor Jonathan is speaking. Thank you for taking my call. You're speaking to a brother who's the scavenger. I'm calling from Afridi, South Africa. I greet my leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a prisoner of conscience, who set up this radio Biafra, a citadel of knowledge and spirituality to educators. And that is what you, Professor Jonathan, is doing. You are blessed. Maintain your blessing, Professor Jonathan. Professor Jonathan, my problem is on these people they call our elite, which I call prison warders. The reason why I call them prison warders is like what we talked today about organization of knowledge. Last about 2-3 weeks ago, sorry, of yesterday, he said that Nigeria has Igbo problem. Nigeria has Igbo problem. He go on by saying that there is a secret memo against the Igbos in Nigeria. This was said just yesterday, not even up to a month, that Sowore said this. Sowore also explained to us that if their mothers explained to them, taught them about the danger of seeing an Igbo man next to them, or about the danger of Igbo man being in Nigeria. He said so that even their parents taught them. Now, according to what some of the voice note you made this evening, Kanu, cried for Nigeria. When Nigeria happened to him, he cried. Rogers Okorocha, when Nigeria happened to him, he cried. Peter Obi, when Nigeria happened to him, he cried. All these people are the people they say they are our leaders or our elite, which I call prison warders. The reason why I call them prison warders is Obi, Nigeria happened to him, but guess what Obi did? Obi is still deceiving us that Nigeria will be good. But Nigeria has happened to him, but he swallowed all those things and still deceiving his people, telling us that Nigeria will be good. Even though Nigeria has happened to him, Nigeria have happened to him, but he went to Abuja where they are making memorial of our brother. They don't longer make memorial of our citizens, of our brothers, of those our elite, even in Biafra land. They take it to Abuja. And guess now how the Igbos disgrace themselves. How these people you call elite, which I say that they are prison warders, how they disgrace us. That is where Okorocha is now appealing to Tinubu about the release of our leader. And he is telling Obabia to convey his message. This is somebody who has been in position in Nigeria, even became a governor. That means Tinubu cannot hear his voice. Only Obabia can convey his voice to Tinubu. Can you see why? Because they don't have this organizational knowledge you thought of this evening. They're not talking about it. They don't know what it is. They don't know how to protect their own people. They are there to disgrace us. They are there just for their own pocket. Now, the last man, the boy you made his voice note, the young guy who wear jeans, nice. He said Nigeria have happened to him. Which Nigeria happened to him? Is that Nigeria? This is small boy, a Fulani man that happened to him. Small boy, a Fulani man that happened to him. He said Nigeria have happened to him. Then Mazi now become a prisoner of conscience. Who Nigeria has happened to him? What is he going to say? Yerima Shetima didn't happen to him. Yerima Shetima have happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a prisoner of conscience. He has happened to you, Jonathan, because for you speaking about him, he's not going to see you now and leave you. These are the people we are talking that Nigeria have happened to. People have happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a prisoner of conscience. Dangote have happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a prisoner of conscience. Babangida have happened to IPOB. All these people, dangerous ones, have happened to IPOB. This guy, and guys, different. You know, he said Nigerian, he used to think that he have connection. And when you heard him, he's talking, he said environment. Environment he is talking for. When you see him, the only environment he's talking for, he will now go to Abuja and put barbed wire, electric wire on the fence of Abuja. So on his mansion in Abuja, he think now he has secured his environment. The next thing you will see him tomorrow, while coming to Biafra land, he will carry 3 soldiers put on his car and come and intimidate his village. That is the environment he is talking about. Environment he said he has. Because when you think they are talking, when they are talking, you think they are learned. That yes, he knows now what is his environment. And now he will go there, munition, go and put electric wire. Then full animal will jump in the electric wire and die. They come and arrest him now and charge him for murder. That is his environment. He's not talking of ESN, how to support ESN, to protect his farmland, to protect our women, to protect our children, to protect our ladies, for farming, for us to eat well. He's not talking about that. Just ask him now. Go and see his home now. He have put barbed wire, he have put electric fence, everything. That is environment. And he will come back with a big 350 policemen, soldiers, when he's coming to village to intimidate Biafra land. That is what they do. And we have nowhere to go. The IPOB, it have happened to you. We have known all this one. Talking, this boy, a Fulani guy, just slap him and prick his arm. He's coming here to tell us Nigeria have happened to him. When the IPOB members of cannot even go home because they talk. Mazi Jonathan, you are now. When you check your body now, when you started this program, if you check your hand blood now, you see that their blood has shortened more than shortened more than 3 pints of blood. Because you are talking to their fans, you are educating them, and this guy is telling me Nigeria have happened to him. Don't mind them. IPOB, this war is for you. Do your best, and we want Nigeria to disgrace themselves more, as our Professor Jonathan have alluded that it's better for this thing to continue, not the struggle continue so that one day Nigeria will stand up and started burning themselves because they have committed atrocities against the Biafrans. They have committed atrocities even against themselves. These are people who don't love themselves. They hate themselves. Nigeria are the only country that I know that hate themselves. Electricity, water, good road, nothing they can boast of. For the past 60 years, Biafrans, who we know is our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, release our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a prisoner of conscience. He has done nothing. Law, court have discharged our leader, discharged and acquitted. Is there any other English sorry and honest mistake that you have not heard? When I say in court, is there any other English more than discharged and acquitted? Content with Biafrans. Don't hate us. Leave us to go free. Leave us to live our life. Leave us to worship how we wanted to do so that we can be free and call ourselves human beings. Thank you for taking my call, Professor Jonathan. Therefore, I love you. I you remember share my blood. Bye.
There, Mazi. Thank you very much. And this is where I'm going to switch up the phones. Biafrans and lovers of freedom. We are doing what we are doing because the situation we are in is not favorable to us. It's not what we're supposed to be. Britain, through Nigeria, has an original plan of making sure that we are destroyed completely as a people, so that we cannot be recognized. That is, we become unrecognizable. What sin or what crime did we commit against them? Nothing. Only that we are a people that wants to survive. We want to live. We want to make sure that our civilization is maintained. That is what Britain doesn't want. They saw us as a menace, as a threat. Our people that came thousands of kilometers, and all of a sudden they are seeing us as our existence as a threat to them. We will never succumb. We will never continue to succumb to their threat or their blackmail. We are doing the right thing by fighting for our survival. Nigeria we are in. They created Nigeria. And Nigeria we are in, they put us, disorganized us. Imagine that we have the capacity of making our own laws that based on our values. We would have done, done very, very well, more better, advanced more than we, because people cannot move forward without a viable system. There must be a system guiding the people. It's just like we being in this planet, because there is oxygen. No human being can function in the absence of oxygen, in a place, in a space where there is no oxygen. It is impossible. So they put us in Nigeria where there is lack of oxygen for us to progress as a people. Now they influenced our existence, our political structure, our political leadership. They imposed them on us. Imagine, had it been that we are allowed even to make our own laws as a region, the same way the North, they are using Hizbah police, organizing themselves. They have not ruptured their own structure, but in our own, they rupture. They make sure that we are divided into piecemeals for easy swallowing and destruction. Do you remember, is it 2020 or 2021? No, I think 2020. The first time in history that the whole southern governors had meeting as South. Do you remember the brouhaha it caused? The Fulani, the Caliphate, we are on panic mode. They have to exercise, bring out all their arsenals in order to make sure that that meeting, that cohesion as the South stopped. And it stopped. They went on the rampage, making sure to thwart us, because they know that our being together as a people is their nightmare, that we can come together, that we can do something while being in a bunch. So they made sure that it never happens. That is how they thwarted us into pieces. They imposed governors, senators to us. The worst thing that can happen to a people is foreign influence. Foreign influence. That is why, for example, in every American presidential election, any of their politician that is found out to have any foreign connection or influence, they don't joke with it. They don't joke with it, because how can a country be having somebody that is connected to another country? Which means it will have divided influence. But this is what we have been suffering right from beginning, right from the inception of Nigeria. We are suffering on Western influence, European influence, American influence. Now in Igbo land, in Biafra land, we are suffering not only Western influence, but Nigerian influence. That is Fulani Caliphate, the Caliphate influence in our land. So we are a people destined for slaughter, for destruction. That is why when I see people that are, mesmerizing, that are joking with our struggle, rubbishing it as child's play, it pains my heart, honestly speaking. It pains me a lot. Because these people, they don't understand what we are into. That the restoration of Biafra is a very tedious job. That we are fighting monsters, both physical and spiritual, and if water from space everywhere. That is what we are fighting. So people should understand that our power lies in our unity, our being galvanized. Look at how the North is gradually formulating their own country. They have the Hisba police enforcing their own law. What do we have? Our magistrates, traditional magistrates court is gone because of influence of Nigeria. We cannot even uphold our culture through the magistrate court we used to have. Everything is gone. That is why we are a lost people. Everybody is doing as he wants. Our people are lost. You see, things that have never happened in our land are happening because there is no structure. A people that has no structure is a people lost. That is why the first thing, the most important thing is for us to restore and restore and build a system that is capable of holding us as a people. Without it, we cannot, there is no individual success, it's nothing. The Europeans, the West is very wise. The Europeans, they first of all build a garden. A garden, that is a system that allows themselves to, that allows their individualism to thrive. A system. Building a system is the most important thing. But in our own, we fail to understand that building a system is the number one thing. We thought that building individualism is the number one thing. No. Individualism is nothing, because a system is where law comes from. The policy comes from. The policy that can make you, kill you, or save you. That is where it comes from. The price of commodities in Nigeria is made by the policy of Nigeria. IMF is running Nigeria, which is not normal. They are teaching us how to run our own selves. Oh, do this, borrow more money. Whereas there are 200 and something million people that have been rendered lazy by the Nigerian policy. The Fulani Caliphate is trying to almajirize us, we Igbos. We are known for working hard, but today the through the policy of Nigeria, when you leave a people to be structureless, to be going roaming around like zombies without no law, if you have the highest contacts, you are right. You can kill your brother without no problem. So they made us to start behaving as zombies, as animals, in order to survive, for our individual survival. This is what we are fighting in order to restore ourselves, who we are. And we can only do it through the restoration of Biafra. That is a system that is viable, a system that can, through which we can make laws to protect our culture, our tradition, our roots, and develop and advance, so that each and every one of us as individuals will be contributing to the advancement of that system, so that we will be able to have education going back to our roots, developing our roots into branches, into lumps and branches that can bear fruits that can be be viable for living. That is what we are fighting for. We are not doing anything wrong. For your information, before I close, we should never stop this campaign for boycott of Ethiopia Airlines until they stop harassing and detaining and killing our people in Addis Ababa on transit. We should never stop this campaign. If you are traveling to Biafra land or to anywhere, anything, please avoid boycott Ethiopian Airlines. They are dealing with us. It is a contract with the Nigerian government in order to deal with Biafrans. If they take you to Ethiopia, even on transit, they will make life miserable for you. Before you know, they can bring you down and you get stuck and they imprison you in their very notorious prison. Many of our people are languishing in jail, people that are just on transit in Ethiopia. So please, make sure that you spread this news that we must be boycotting Ethiopian Airlines until they reverse their policy of Biafra's marginalization and intimidation in Ethiopia, because we have the power to do it. Stop using your money to buy your own misery, to buy your own debt. You can see different testimonies of how Ethiopians are treating our people, even on transit in Ethiopia. So please, avoid using Ethiopian Airlines. This is where I'm going to stop. Biafra remains our tradition. Biafra remains who we are. Biafra is everything we have. This mental emancipation is something that we must continue. Without developing our mentality, there is no way we can develop a viable state. This is the reality. Therefore, we must continue what we are doing. Thank you for listening. Biafra remains everything we have, our ideology, and this is in Radio Biafra. This is where we worship. This is our gathering point. Whatever that is happening, my advice to Biafrans is this: we must be pragmatic in watching the events that are folding. We should never come up in order to just be one way. No, we must be wise people. Be pragmatic and watching the plans of the zoo, because they always have plan. You understand? So that we shall decode whatever plan they have, so that we shall never be taken by surprise. Thank you for listening. From me, Mazi Jonathan. From here, it is simply good evening.